is the host.
Isn't he Mexican?
Colombian.
He calls himself American.
What is this?
Anchor Baby.
And in this corner, it's the American Anchor Baby.
Daddy's home.
That's an offensive term. People find that hurtful.
You mean it's not politically correct? Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby.
You know, he's an anchor baby in Canada.
Tell him we still rolling with Trump, too.
Anchor baby, the whole thing sounds horrific. You're just making it sound like immigrants are these horrific, greedy people.
Ustedes pueden aceptar mi negocio o aceptar las consecuencias. Plata o plomo.
So you would be considered white, in my opinion.
You the blackest one in this room.
I think so.
And what happened was his mama got pregnant on the other side of the border, and then a few hours before, just before it was time for him to pop out, she jumped across the border and let him fall on American soil. So he became the anchor baby. You don't call him the anchor baby for nothing. Amazing.
We like this anchor baby, right?
Hello, I'm the American Anchor Baby, and this is my show. How you doing, everybody? Appreciate you tuning in on this fine Wednesday. A pleasure to be here. We got a bit of a show to get into, so thanks. I see all of you. We got to say hello. We got to say hello to the folks as they're all tuning in here. Appreciate it. Rumble.com/American Anchor Baby, Punchy.tv/Anchor Baby, and of course the people here on YouTube. How you doing, everybody? Getting all of our audio and stuff right. Thanks for tuning in on this fine Tuesday. How you doing? Thank you. And of course, the people on punchy.tv/Anchor Baby, okay? One moment, any moment, you will be with us, okay? Any moment. So what's up? Happy Wednesday. What can I say? I'm here, American Anchor Baby. And I see all of you in the chat. And we got our lines open. So if you got something on your mind, you could call in. That's 844-900-2229. Something you want to get off your chest or anything else, okay? So 844-900-2229. What's up, old Saucy Jules? How you doing, everybody? Hey, John, Cloud. We got Canada in the chat. Our Sentry, our Arctic Sentry. Everybody's in the chat, so we're taking it easy today in the lab. I mean, we're here 3 hours. We got the lines open. And we got various things to maybe that we've already mentioned, but maybe I kind of want to like explore deeper and try and take a moment to fully get the deets and all that. You know, it's just not the same. You know, you're in the chair, you got the deets here together. We can explore it together. And there's various things going on. I mean, I want to revisit. Well, we never mentioned this Tony Gonzalez guy, but it is interesting that no criminal stuff has come down. And it's just classic story. Woman accuses. You got to go down. It's a hostage situation with everybody. I mean, so some interesting things there. But various things. Look, various things. Like, I mean, the electoral vote. I mean, you guys remember that, right? The electoral college. Like, that's really important, right? That's really important. Like, anyways, we're going to remember why it's important, but they're trying to get rid of it, right? In Virginia, they're making sure that your votes coincide with the national popular vote as opposed to like the electoral college for a presidential election. So you know that's been argued. So anyways, look, to elect the president, look, whatever. Various thoughts, okay? We're going to go through them. The girl bosses are subsidized. But the fellas are obsessed with, well, the young ones, right? And I'm only talking about it because I'm on the internet. They're obsessed with looks maxing, and now they're ODing. They're ODing out there. What they don't know is that the thing that they're into has been done before. It's been done before. We've talked about it briefly. There's the Z's, all the bodybuilders is before. And you follow them, you get hyped with them, and you follow them up to their peak, and then you follow them to their early deaths. It's something we already know about the whole like bodybuilding, which they now call it like self-improvement, now calling it looks maxing world. But what can I say? I mean, Trump dropped another AI photo, and you guys are asking about it in the chat. New Jesus photo dropped, and it sounds like you guys want to talk about it. No, Nick, what do you think about Trump's photo? I mean, we talked about it Monday. I think we briefly touched on it again yesterday. And, you know, there's one more thing I wanted to mention. I wanted to kind of like say something that doesn't need to be, how do I put this? Like, verbalize that which is to verbalize that which should be not verbalized, because it should either be evident or not. But I'm going to attempt to help people, and I don't know why. Because people are mad about like, oh, he obviously knows it's Jesus. He's lying. well, Jesse and Trump, obviously that's Jesus. Do they think we're stupid? But there's something totally chill about that. Like, it's not like we'll get to that, but I mean, it's in the news still. I mean, I'm not bored of it necessarily. I mean, look, what news is happening? I'm not bored of it necessarily. I mean, the stay-at-home boyfriend stuff is on my mind because I feel like I got a funny / interesting comment on that. Stay-at-home boyfriends, and the women are mad about it. Remember, we talked about it too. The ladies, just like the articles were coming out, young men are not working and not making money to support us, and they were pretty mad. So now they're talking about stay-at-home boyfriends. So I feel like so my mind's on that. I'm not bored about everything else. Like, what else is going on? People are, the Republicans are the ones pushing AI. They're like, they're adopting it big time. And they're using it in all sorts of places, while the Democrats are actually being the conservatives over the AI. And I just saw this latest AI thing to completely nuke the brains of boomers on Facebook who couldn't tell that it wasn't real. There's just interesting things going on. We're going to get to it all, hopefully. Oh, man. And the expose, the BBC investigation that found migrants were getting coached to be gay to get into America. Look, we got plenty of things to get into. You guys all your calls are coming in 844-900-2229. So take it easy on a Wednesday. What am I doing here? Let's see. We got calls coming in. I think I will get to you. You're hearing me now, calls. How you doing? We're going to get to you right away, in fact. Nick, thoughts on surgery to make you taller? You seen that? The stuff to lengthen your legs. You break them a little bit, and then you lengthen them slowly. Hey, we'll get to that later, right? We'll get to that later. The whole looks thing, I have maybe a comment on it. But what can I say? We got y'all here. Various topics to get into. Calls coming in. I want to get to Ohio. In fact, I want to get to Ohio. Let's see here. We got Punchy TV coming later and all that. So thanks for tuning in. We got Ohio on the air. How you doing?
What's up, Nicky, baby?
What's up, Art? How you doing, sir?
Nicky, baby.
Baby.
Nick, my brother.
That was new.
Nick.
That one sounds different. That doesn't sound... That suddenly sounds like not Art.
Hey, this is Art from Ohio. Baby.
That's funny, man.
It don't get
Brother Art. How you doing, sir?
All right. Shout out to Brother Rick, too. Brother.
Welcome.
You there?
All here.
Okay, first thing first. I wonder if I wonder if my Texas white friends and buddies down there in Texas or whatnot know that back in slavery or whatnot, and a lot of this came from Dick Gregory or whatnot. Not a lot of it, but some of it. It did the big thing with Dick Gregory or whatnot. Rest in peace to Dick Gregory or whatnot. He had a study done on breast milk. And I think you can probably go look it up still to this day or whatnot, how valuable breast milk is for the human life or whatnot.
I'm not familiar with Dick Gregory. But for developing people, you need milk.
Yeah, breast milk for sure. It's a lot of stuff I forgot a lot of it or whatnot. But he paid like $1 million, he said in the video. It was some years ago I watched. I'm talking about I was probably like 28. You're talking about 10 years ago. He paid an organization $1 million to do study on breast milk alone. and they came up with some good facts and some stuff about breast milk. But a lot of this stuff that I'm about to start talking about now is just from passed on from generation to generation, and just me knowing history or whatnot from my ancestors or whatnot. Cause my mom, then you got my grandmother, then you got my granny. My granny's mother died, which is Big Mama. She was in slavery. She died in like I think 1979, 1980s, like 6 years before I was born. Somewhere, don't get me, I don't think it's somewhere along them lines. So I'm just going to associate like slavery wasn't just that far back. You know what I mean? For my peoples. So it's been.
Can you say again that year you thought it was? Can you say again that year you thought it was?
I think it was like
I know it's not that important. You're not getting it right, but go ahead.
1979 is when my Big Mama died.
Okay,
or whatnot, 79 or 80. It might have been like 83, because I think she died like right around when my sister was born, which was 84. So it might even been a little later. Long story short, a lot of these so-called white people out here screaming, if Native American Negroes or whatnot, they can go back, they can get out of America, this and this and this and that. Just, all anti-Native American Negro propaganda. And a lot of them don't know that my ancestors, my grandmothers and stuff, they was fed by my Negro American breast milk. A lot of these white girls that you see running around here with them big old booties and stuff, that's because they got some of that my grandmother's breast milk up in them. That good old Native American slavery breast milk. That's what you might not know. And you're like, how do you? Huh?
Go ahead, finish.
And you like, well, how you know that, Art? Well, we all know that from you being in the sun as a slave or whatnot, working in the plantations or whatnot, that helps with your vitamin D or whatnot, protein. It helps with your vitamin D, and it's good for black melanin, which in turn it would affect the milk, meaning the proteins or whatnot. So if you know like Native slave American history, you know that the master, he had like 5, 6, 7 kids or whatnot, and they were stepping stools. So the white woman couldn't feed those kids breast milk, and a lot of them, the slaves, a lot of the masters were understanding that our kids was physically stronger, so they was trying to figure out how to get their white kids and white boys stronger. So they ancestors, the white ancestors figured it out that it's from the breast milk, the protein or whatnot from the slave breast milk. So they was basically breastfeeding them. So it just that's our American history, culture, or whatnot.
And where did you hear this? Was this from Dick Gregory or?
No. This is passed down from family generation or whatnot. Like this is this history that everybody already knows or whatnot. And if you from the South or whatnot, if you got people from the South, they know it too. A lot of the white people that ain't ashamed to admit it and say it, they'll tell you. A lot of them was getting fed breast milk up into the Native American black breast milk, probably up into the 1900s after slavery. You see what I'm saying?
So the idea is that those generations were fed that milk, and then later down the road, now we got different shaped women today that are like more shapely, closer to the black form. That's the idea here? I don't know. I've never heard this before, Art. I gotta say, I've never heard it before. and I'm like dubious. I'm like I'm skeptical of most things, anyways. But
Yeah.
But here's what I do. Here's what I do know. Milk is caloric. Milk is caloric. That's how you. That's how you. You know what I'm saying? Get your. What do you call them? That's how you beef somebody up. That's how you get somebody bigger. But I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
About them being chick, because like how many people are even on breast milk, and how long ago? Like I have so many questions, right?
What you mean? How long ago? What?
How long? Like it's. I know you're saying all the way up till the 1900s, but I just never heard that a milk changes you like that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you don't think that you were drinking a black person's milk? That's DNA. You don't understand that's DNA. Your body is made up of DNA.
But I mean, you drink cow milk. Do you taking in cow DNA? Are you becoming a cow?
Yeah, but the cow ain't human though.
But let's say you eat.
I don't think that they share the same. They share DNA, but the same. They don't share that human DNA.
But I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't really matter.
I mean, you could take it for. I mean, for as far as take it as far as you can see it, believe it or not. But I'm just telling you the history that a lot of these whites that's out here running around, they probably wouldn't. And it's something else you don't know. A lot of them kids back, a lot of them white kids, they were dying off because they didn't have the right correct nutrients. So back in the history, a lot of them slave white kids, they used to die off real early and real young. And my Native American black kids, we were still surviving and living under worse means or whatnot. So yeah, definitely.
No, I don't totally deny it. Just like milk is nutritional, and maybe what some of the things you're saying there, like what you just said, maybe something that happened and passed down. And just about DNA and all that, I just don't know. I just don't. Look, the Bible even says what you eat passes through you and does not defile you. It's your digestive system. All sorts of DNA goes in there. I don't think you become it, but I don't really know. But I'll tell you what, I don't really see. Not every white woman is like voluptuous like that, anyways. Today, so I don't know if the conclusion is true. And then even further, if I may, it doesn't really matter that much because all that information was to conclude like. Okay, no, I get it. I mean, part of it is not just the voluptuous bodies, right? It's also that they survived. They were able to survive back then, and it's part of history. Is that also why it's important? It's not just the voluptuous bodies they created, right? You're also just trying to tell us history and how they survived back then?
Yeah, for sure. And what are you looking at? White girls from California?
I don't know. I mean, I can't say I'm really looking, but... I'm trying to search through my memory, but hey.
Yeah, what you looking at the white girls that you see on the internet? Most of the white girls that them country homestead white girls, they're not on the internet. I mean, you might find a couple of them or whatnot.
But now it's like the topic doesn't even matter anymore now because it's like, did the black milk make them thick? It's like, dude, I don't care.
No, I'm not saying it ain't about it's about being healthy. You looking
okay, I'm following that. Right. That's why I asked you that earlier. It's about the history, right? Okay, my bad.
Being healthy. Yeah.
That's why I asked you earlier too, my bad. But
the new
it would be cool. Yeah. It would be cool history. I can't say I know it though, but hey, you're telling me this is like a story passed around in the South? That it's not just like something you heard. Like you heard this from family or whatever. That's actually pretty interesting.
Sure, 100%. 100%, literally. And
shout out South. Let me know if you've heard of the hardy, the way white youngins survived the tough early America with slave milk. Anybody heard of this? Let me know.
Yep. Also, it's very hypocritical with the Trump thing in the picture or whatnot. They don't got these white liberals or whatnot, and the so-called conservatives. They got a problem with white Jesus being depicted on the picture, but then turn around and have a problem with Trump doing it or whatnot. You see what I'm saying? You don't have a problem with the old school white Jesus being on a picture or whatnot from back in the '70s or whatnot, them old school white Jesus pictures, but you got a problem with Trump depicting himself as it or whatnot, which is whether it was a black Jesus on there or in me depicting myself as one or as that black Jesus or whatnot. What do it matter or whatnot? It's the point in what the picture was trying to represent or what he was trying to make and state with the picture. It's like they digging into something that is not that serious and then being hypocritical, and which lets me know that they full of SHIT.
They are suddenly total Christians. Yeah, I'm following. Keep going. My bad.
Yeah. Well, you picking and choosing which one you want to be offended by. You should have been offended by the white Jesus or whatnot being on the old school pictures that my granny had in her house. The white Jesus, knowing that don't depict the same what it says out the Bible. But you want to be offended at Trump allegedly.
That's so true. I think Jesse Waters put it well. They played it on Jesse's show, and he's like, they're like all suddenly religious. The media is totally religious all of a sudden. Like, that's blasphemy. The same people, like, all day, you know, they'll talk, they'll say anything about religion and Christianity for sure. Suddenly they love Jesus. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, suddenly they love Jesus and stuff. Yeah, so, I would think blasphemy. But you got to understand, this is coming from the liberals. Allegedly, the same people that said that girls can be boys and boys can be girls, and we trying to turn the society gay. They want to talk about what blasphemy is. That's like me listening to a gay couple tell me about what marriage is. When the Bible says that two gay people can't be married. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
You want to tell me about what blasphemy is. Like, I can't hear you tell me what blasphemy is when you or I can't listen to somebody tell me, I'm going to tell you the truth, but every time I've been turning around for the last 10 years with the Democrats, they've been feeding me lies. So I'm just saying, I'm rubbing that in with the blasphemy. I can't understand and hear them talking about when they're the farthest from knowing the Bible and listening to the Bible. Now all of a sudden they screaming that they Christians when there ain't nothing about Democratic politics screaming Christian. If you want to talk about blasphemy, I would think blasphemy would be letting all these Muslims come into America when they're known enemies of Christians and / Catholics and people that believe in the Bible.
And they're just using that as an attack.
Oh yeah, it's a Christian American attack. They're basically on the Christians and whatnot. They don't understand and see it.
Totally, it's just an attack. So it's not. It's already phony on its face. Because I mean, is that how you're supposed to use Jesus to attack others and say, "Do what I want you to do"?
Yeah, it's phony. Yeah, nah, that ain't what you're supposed to be doing. Nah, no. Then I was gonna say I've been noticing. Remember, yesterday I was just talking about females shouldn't be voting and stuff like that. You know, I've been talking about that for like years. I probably 2017 on Jesse Lee. Man, I'm the first person to be saying that, man. Damn. Now I'm starting to hear other people saying it. Now I'm starting to hear some of these other YouTubers saying it or whatnot. And they saying that, females shouldn't be able to vote. And they saying that a lot of the liberal females are opposition, Nick. They said a lot of our opposition now coming to the realization that, maybe females shouldn't be allowed to vote because they voting against our better interests, which is common sense. You wondering where all the man is or why the man ain't approaching y'all, because y'all voting to send us off the war. Y'all voting to make work at the job and at the job site harder or whatnot. So y'all voting to let people to come into y'all's country to take y'all's rights away. They subverting what the original feminist movement was. Now they don't change it to y'all don't let radicals into it. So now they starting to realize that, man, maybe we shouldn't be voting or whatnot. Maybe we should just go ahead and let Art vote because he's logical or whatnot, and we're going to still get what we want to get because Art is basically fighting for our best interest anyways. And I'm going to tell you something else I told Hake some years ago.
No, I mean, I heard. No, on the women, man. No, totally. Sorry, am I still on? Hold on.
I'm here. I hear you.
Mic check. Okay, I think we're still good. No, I mean, look, for me, it's just like they vote even against their own interests. Like they vote against, like, you know, for it's like bad for everybody. And and so I come at it like I don't go around thinking like I didn't grow up thinking like this at all, or even it's just like a strategic thing. Like when I see the women put us in the workplace, put us in all this, then they turn around and say, what's going on with the workplace and the men, and then why aren't you guys you know, above us? It's like, what's going on? I thought you wanted it this way. So
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's it basically. Yeah. I mean, I start thinking, well, maybe these misogynists are onto something. Like, what's going on, ladies? Come on, I believe in y'all. Come on, like, I'm rooting for y'all. Like, I thought y'all had agency, were thinking, rational people, right?
They've been pushing now. Just like, and I've been saying that too. Y'all don't let the crazies in the party, in y'all's party or whatnot, and that's why I always try to make sure I keep the Republicans and the conservatives separated from the liberals, because you don't want to dilute us. We the only thing that's keeping everything on the rails. So we can't have no liberals and no pretend Republicans and no conservatives, because at the end of the day, when y'all dirty everything up, y'all run the RDR and the conservatives to clean up y'all's mess. Now y'all all scared and getting sexually assaulted by all these immigrants y'all letting come in, and they stealing from you, got you out here working 10 times harder on the job site, and now y'all calling RDR to come clean it up. I just seen some liberal female black female in Minnesota screaming like, "Oh, we need to have a table talk." The Somalians, it's a Native American Negro black female, talking on the things like the Somalians down there, they starting gangs, they down there harassing the black people or with the Negro people down there. And I'm thinking in the back of my head, you the same black female that been going to the government getting child support, talking about Artie Art is allegedly abusive. We don't take care of our kids. We don't need no man. Y'all lazy. Y'all bums. Now you want Artie Art to come back in the house and try to save y'all? Nah, I'm cool. I'm worried about, as long as ain't no Somalians pulling up on my kids with no straps, and ain't no Mexican calling my kids no N-words. I'm cool. I can handle my own. You hear me?
You said, yep, you can handle your own.
Yeah, I don't need no car full of fake thugs that need hugs. I always been able to handle my own business by myself. I don't need no snitches in the car with me. You see, or going with me to handle no business so they can turn around and snitch on me. But I just find that very hypocritical. And going back to what I said, they make the mess, and then they want us to come clean it up. Like now, you trying to get all the men. After we've been saying sit the BLM the black lesbian females sit down, they've been trying to basically. You was rolling with the BLM. Now that they ain't working and stuff, now you want the men that y'all been hating on all these years to come save y'all from these same people that y'all voted to come over here into this country to steal from you. Go ahead, I'm listening to you.
Like Trump will do it even if you don't like it, ladies. Art, man, appreciate it.
Catch you later.
Call me again.
Yep.
What did he say? What did Trump say? Something like, that's just the only thing I could think of at that moment. That's the only thing I was thinking of at the moment. I forget what he said. We're going to protect you anyways, ladies, whether you like it or not, or something like that. Whether you like it or not. What do you mean, rape us? What's wrong with you? No, protect. What do you mean, whether we like it or not? What are you, a rapist? What is wrong
They
with
said,
you?
sir, I just think it's inappropriate for you to say, pay these guys a lot of money. Can you believe it? I said, well, I'm going to do it whether the women like it or not. I'm going to protect them. I'm going to protect them from migrants coming in. I'm going to protect them from foreign countries that want to hit us with missiles and lots of other things. They said...
That's right. You might be disturbed that one of the tabs, and I'm only talking about this because you're going to clip it up afterwards, and you're going to point out that I had a tab that read as such, Neighbor, an autobiography by Dick Gregory, but you got to know it's not true. I was clicking around. He was telling me about Dick Gregory. You know, moving on, right? You know, it looks like the guy had something to say about cow milk. You know, I was wondering too, because I was wondering if his Wikipedia says, you know, and we were listening to Art, and it sounds like he was like the breast milk guy. But I mean, it sounds like he had something to say about cow milk and the ill effects of the consumption of cow milk. That's more like not the cow milk guy, as opposed to being known as the breast milk guy, which maybe he's not known as either of them. I'm just making a joke. It's just right, being known as the breast milk guy. But speaking of milk, you know, you're disturbed, confused. You want to call Art names, and instead of doing any of those things, you didn't even just bother for a moment to just look it up. Someone just told me it's part of American history that young white children of slave owners drank slave milk, which is a crazy way to put it, but I know the AI would understand me. Drank slave milk to stay healthy. Yes, that's a real and grim part of American slavery history. Though the phrasing drank slave milk to stay healthy is a bit crude and oversimplified. You think, my bad, Grok, call me crude and oversimplified. It refers to the widespread practice of wet nursing, where enslaved black women were forced to breastfeed the infants and young children of white slave owners. So, there you go. Are you guys want to call people? You guys want to go nuts? You guys got to chill for a sec. Enslaved women who had recently given birth were often made to serve as wet nurses for the white children on plantations. This was common in antebellum South. This is all according to Grok, okay? We could go deeper, check our work. I usually do on the things I care about with AI. And then the things I don't, I just choose not to believe what AI is telling me. I just let it be nothing. Slave owners or their wives sometimes chose not to breastfeed themselves, viewing it as lower class or inconvenient. Where are they getting that from? You gotta be careful with slavery, right? Because they love to lie and make things up about this time. And so Grok is another LLM trained on data, and a lot of the data says BS. So I know Grok is supposed to be more free speech and more based. I just don't know how more, but I don't know if he really is or not. She? I don't know. Grok. Or they couldn't due to illness, death, and childbirth, or other reasons. Instead, they used enslaved women's milk and labor for free. They got room and board, right? It's a business like others. There's costs, overhead. You think anybody could just pop up and be a slave owner? You think, you think you could just wake up tomorrow, no capital, and be a slave owner? So slaves are free? Well, I mean, come on. It's just ridiculous. Okay, I'm sorry. Some owners timed pregnancies so enslaved women would be lactating when their own wives gave birth. They frequently separated enslaved mothers from separating the families. So the black women's milk, black women's milk and time could go primarily to the white infants. Enslaved babies were then fed substitutes like cow's milk, dirty water, or cornmeal mixtures. Oh, is that like, which often led to higher rates of illness and death? Like there was no milk left. Why would you give a baby dirty water? That doesn't even make sense. Here, just give it dirty water. And you're the mom. You're like, well, it's better than nothing. Like, that doesn't even make sense. That's not even a meal. Dirty water. And Grok is pulling pulling this info from blackwpc.org, the Wellness Prosperity Center. Anybody can make a website these days. Black Maternal Health Week. Look, I know I'm judging, but come on, guys. Who's gonna give them dirty water? Like, who would just give a baby dirty water? Like, even if you're like a slave owner, oh, I'm an evil slave owner. Ooh, you're less than a human, but I need you to grow up and be my workhorse. So it just doesn't make sense. Dirty water. But you're my workhorse, right? You care about your property. You would think they'd care about their property. You know, they took them to the doctors and stuff. Look it up. They'll never tell you that some slave owners took them to the doctors because they were, you know, in my opinion, sincerely sad that they were sick and they loved them. They wrote about it. But AI would never believe me. Contemporary accounts, slave narratives, plantation records, newspaper ads, and historians document this. One 1773 diary entry noted it was common here for people of fortune to have their young children suckled by the Negroes. Don't laugh, class. Don't laugh. That's a quote. That's a real thing. Okay? Charleston City Paper. The antebellum market for enslaved wet nurses. This is the breast milk episode. Breast milk, you made my day. Sorry. Boom, boom. I'm sorry, I'm having a music autism moment. Okay, so look, they come in here for people of fortune to have their young children suckled by the Negroes. I'm putting that on a shirt, by the way. Here, people of fortune, it'll say something like, here, people of fortune have their young children suckled. I should just like I should just do like one of those absurd TikToks. I should just walk up to someone in the street wearing meta glasses and just say, here, no, that's insane. Okay, some whites at the time believed black women's milk made children hardier or gave resistance to certain disease like malaria in the South. Okay, you guys were obviously way too quick to judge art. I still am very skeptical. Like, even if people in the South, even if a whole bunch of people in the South believe that black milk made them hardier because, I don't know, the genetics of blacks and you're taking them on somehow. I don't know if I just think I'm too smart or something and whatever I read about DNA tells me otherwise, but I'm not a geneticist, but it don't make sense. But look, you can understand that milk makes you hardier and you can understand why people maybe thought that. I mean, just look at black people, right? Just look at them. Give them I'm becoming a milk expert. I thought I was a milk expert. I'll tell you that right now, triumphant. I thought I was a milk expert up until today. So, yeah, obviously a lot of people maybe thought this. Just look at black people, right? Drink the breast milk. Whew. Look, you're getting uncomfortable, but this is American history, I think, according to Grok. Wet nursing existed long before American slavery, often among the wealthy using poorer or servant women. Give us your servant milk. Give us your slave milk. Slavery made it uniquely coercive and racialized because the wet nurses had zero choice and their own children suffered as a direct result. So there you go. I think we're all better for this, but fascinating. I think the funniest thing is that Gronk was a little uncomfortable with my drank slave milk to stay healthy phrasing, you know. Whew. You're uncomfortable. Okay? I understand, but this is American history. Okay? And it probably wasn't as bad as they say. That slave milk more potent. No. You gotta get the slave milk. That's more potent. Grok is lying through its teeth, actually. You think? You know, I gotta say, this is just Grok. I mean, the people are clamoring. They're loud. I hear you guys. But I don't think that's I mean, the history of wet nurses is not that's not controversial. The history, I've heard this before. I actually know this. The wet nurses breastfed, suckled, etc. That's been a thing for a long time. For a long, long time. Now they got that Enfamil. My baby needs some Enfamil. And so you put it together, like it's not something that I would personally, I don't feel the need to get deeper. Is grok line to me, like the history of wet nurses and breastfeeding like that. I just know all this characterization. They love to put it like, and then they took the kids and gave them dirty water, and then they couldn't, and there was no milk left for the black kids. Like maybe sometimes. I'm not that interested in knowing. Because it's over. It's done. Okay? It's done. We have Enfamil now. Okay? Oh, man. So I just didn't know that. I'm fascinated. But we're going to move on. My baby needs some Enfamil. So get it if you know how slavery feel. I forget how that goes. Okay, KK. We murder like we the black KKK. It's like, what? Guys? What? Guys? It's like the same song. Like in one line, that song is talking about chattel slavery. And then the next line, it's like, we're the black murder like the black KKK. And I'm like, mic check, no audio. What the? When did that happen? Oh, you can do it with spacebar. It's good to know. That's BS though. Not even a minute, you said? And so you put it together, like it's not something that I would. That's what I sound personally, like. I don't feel the need to get deeper. Is grok line spacebar. So when did I stop talking? Not even a minute times? I'm not that interested in knowing. Chattel slave. Okay, so whatever. A minute, you said? All right, should we get triple voices going? Inception. So let's keep it moving here. On this fine Wednesday. Stop it with the... Move on from the breast milk. Went mute after KKK. Thanks, David Roberts. Alrighty. Let's see here. We gotta open up a few things. Thank you for the support. How you doing, folks? Buymeacoffee.com/anchor, baby. Eric, how you been? Coming in with the coffees. Coming in strong with the coffees. Let's check out what he's got to say. Buymeacoffee.com/anchor, baby. Thank you, Eric. Alrighty. Your conversation with Art got my attention yesterday. Art said men aren't coming up to women in the mall because they don't want to be accused of harassment. Eric says not true. In an attempt to move the conversation forward, I'd like to end this boomer talking point that men aren't approaching women because they're worried about accusations of harassment or criminal prosecution. It's not a Me Too thing. Yes, women monetize their sexuality when it no longer benefits them. They monetize their victimhood. This evil world where women can retroactively withdraw consent needs to be eliminated. But to insinuate that's why men aren't approaching women is illogical. It's still very unlikely, low odds, that a woman is going to prosecute the average man for a sex crime. The main reason why men aren't approaching, the juice isn't worth the squeeze. There's little incentive, he says. What do you think? I've explained this. Women today lack virtue. They lowered their value. They want to work half the time for twice the money. Does that make sense? Obviously not. That's why men aren't approaching. They're just less valuable. He's saying you guys don't have your beauty, purity, and fertility. What's going on? Women today lack purity and they're not having children. So for men to approach them, they have to be exponentially more beautiful. Like maybe older women. Do you get it? I welcome anyone to debate this logic. I can go a lot deeper, but no one seems to be picking this up as common sense. Pick it up, it's free, or where is this wrong? No, I think people have voted. I think it seems like everyone's known this for a while. It's really only my generations, or at least it seems like to me. It's really only my generations, and I say generations, what am I saying? They're like me and past me, right? I'm kind of in between Zoomer, Millennial. Sometimes I'm talking and thinking and it's like that's, you could say that's the millennial in me, but sometimes there's a Zoomer in me. But anyways, I think it's only like our generations that seem to have forgotten that women for example, some basic wisdoms. I mean, beauty is fleeting. Age, beauty and youth is a fleeting thing. And it goes kind of extra for women, and people have known this, right? Because you call it, now why is that? And I call it extra because they attract the man in a sense. I don't know where I'm going with that actually, because men attract the women, but put it like this: for those that put a lot of importance into that youth and beauty, it'll suck for you, right? And if women are doing that, I guess that's them. But that people have known this. This is something people that's really only like, it seems to me like it's only our generations who have this phenomena that seems to have only existed with us. They call it second adolescence or whatever, right? Or extended adolescence. You're at home, living at home till like 30 plus. They call it extended adolescence. And so you just don't know these basics and you're into childish things like beauty. You're like transient, fleeting things. Because you say like the juice isn't worth the squeeze. You say, no. I mean, there's nothing to debate. I don't think it makes. All I'm trying to say is that I think it was common sense. I think there's just a simpler way to explain it too. These basic things like. That's why I like Jesse's simple like good and evil. Like you're being controlled by good or by evil. And what is an immature evil person into fleeting things that's going to end up paying for it later, blah blah blah. Right? That's like an evil demonic little imp. And sure, the women can be embodying that. Anyone can. Producers, the women really are.
You finish your tracks way faster. Check this out. I'm going to start with this loop that I made.
I mean, but totally, man. Yeah, for sure. I think it was common sense, man. What is going on?
So first, I'm going to click capture your
ads. Does she know she's an ad? Yeah. I think people knew this. Like, I don't know. Used to be more normal, I guess. Like, yeah, we know you age. It's like, what are you trying to? Now you got like women trying to stay young forever. Like, yeah, the most extreme is like surgeries and all that. But they got the stack for the ladies now, and you could stay looking like like good for a while, I guess. I don't know what it is. Jeez. But Eric, man, whatever. You know, I think another reason is it's not the same. Men aren't coming up to women in the mall because they don't want to be accused of harassment. Like, I think there's a couple of other things, like the online thing. Everyone's online, and that's just become, whether by force, by social engineering, brainwashing, grassroots, I don't know. The point is, it's become the way to connect and talk. You know, let's say you do meet someone at a mall or somewhere in the public. What do they then? And you're a certain age. What do they ask then? What's your Instagram? Show me your Instagram. Right? What's your whatever? Snapchat, like whatever. And so, you know how it is. And so that, I think, is a barrier. You gotta have. There's a bigger barrier to entry now. To just like merely say hello to someone, right? It's like, I don't even have a good Instagram. I don't even have like right. I file that under just being like full of fear. A generation and generations raised in fear, in my opinion. Which is of the devil, right? That's what the Bible says. It's of the devil. That means the parents weren't these Christians that they said that they were. Here's the funny thing, though. I talk to people all the time. I don't know about you guys. Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I talk to people on this. I'm in public all the time. Like all the time. So I don't know. I'm just wondering. I'm just expressing what maybe those other people are thinking. Maybe. But I know I've thought that, right? Like fear. So that one makes sense to me. Like, just fearful. But whatever. Whatever. When I was a young guy, I never thought about the value or what the gal makes money-wise. I don't know any young guys that thought about that. Yeah, that's true, man. I don't think he was saying... I think that was a metaphor. Women want to work... Or no, he was talking about their working, actually? I don't know. Yeah, I don't think about that. How much money you making? That's so true. They don't want to be turned down and called a creep. Yeah, bingo. Right, that's what I mean by all the fear stuff. Basically, succinctly said. They don't want to be turned down and called a creep. Like, and more than ever, like, you can't handle rejection, you can't handle discomfort. That's kind of this generation raised in fear and all that. Handling discomfort, handling rejection, handling delayed gratification. Thanks for the support, though. His expulsion-worthy offense was apparently having a romantic relationship with an adult woman who later committed suicide. Historically, expulsion has been incredibly rare in Congress. It overrides voters and only invoked under extreme circumstances with clear-cut criminal wrongdoing. Representative Tony Gonzalez saying there's a season for everything and God has a plan for us all. When Congress returns tomorrow, I will file my retirement from office. It's been a privilege to serve the great people from Texas. You know, Same as yesterday. I don't know the deets. I don't know what the women are saying. I don't know what happened. Maybe what they're saying is absolutely true. And the allegations are absolutely true. Okay? You understand that? Same thing, right? But look, it's like the first thing I see is like responders. Like, I don't remember. I just know that this guy's like a gun guy, right? Or maybe he's like a cop guy on YouTube. No problem with him, this donut operator individual. He's just, his is one of the first comments I see. You're in the same category as Swalwell. Don't let the door hit you on the way out, a-hole. Yeah, we don't like women abusers over here, man. Okay? I protect women. And I'm being all like on a soapbox talking about Donut Operator and others. Because I wonder what motivates this. Yeah, no problem with Donut. I love that guy. You guys are saying, like, I don't even watch his stuff that much, but I don't have a problem with him. I just know that he's a conservative, right? Like a little bit, at least. And so that kind of allows me to make this commentary because that's what I saw. The right wing going hard on Swalwell saying, hey, this is what you get. You're saying believe all women. Well, guess what? And that's not unfair comments, but it is maybe thrilled a little. And what is it that you're thrilled of? Women coming out and just making accusations? And in this case, from what I gather, it's not even an accusation with the Tony Gonzalez guy. It's that some woman that committed suicide, an adult, had a consensual relationship with this guy. It wasn't a affair, though. It was, I don't approve. Right? I disapprove or whatever. And it's coming out that this guy, Tony Gonzalez, had a relationship with this woman. And I was wondering, I was kind of sharing some of what, now I don't know everything Michael Tracy knows. I know he's a like independent journalist type guy. And what else? So I was wondering, and Michael Tracy's commentary here kind of informed me a little bit about, well, what's normal in Congress and expulsion and that stuff. And I wondered, well, if there's no criminal, like where's the trial? If there's no criminal indictment, do they have to resign? I'm just like wondering. And of course, he filed his retirement. Tracy's calling it an expulsion. We're going to do a quick check on that in a moment. But his comment, nonetheless, very interesting to me. His expulsion-worthy offense was apparently having a romantic relationship with an adult who later committed suicide. Historically, expulsion has been incredibly rare in Congress, overrides voters, only invoked under extreme circumstances with clear-cut criminal wrongdoing. Was Tony Gonzalez expelled, or did he resign? Is there a difference? So, I mean, according to the Texas Tribune, which Grok pulled from, I mean, yeah, the Texas Tribune says he's resigning from Congress. I don't know about any expulsion. I don't know where Michael Tracy's necessarily getting that from, but I did share the same sentiment, though, about, is this really expulsion worthy? I have a similar question. I mean, how expulsion worthy is this compared to other things in Congress? What's the crime? Like, it's not even an allegation. Like, he raped somebody. It's not even. It's an affair. So, I gather it's one of those like shame things, where people just can't go on because of shame. What is going on? Where's this ad playing? What is this? Okay, where were we? Yeah, it doesn't seem like he was expelled, but whatever. Gonzalez admitted to an extramarital affair with a house staffer, Regina Santos Aviles, who later died by suicide in 2025. House Ethics Committee opened an investigation into potential violations. But yeah, to this story, you can file it under yesterday's thing on all those women saying that, well, when your boss is asking you for sex and it's a power dynamic, they're saying this about this one as well. Well, if the world is going to be like that, then you can't be in the workplace. Husbands got to keep them home. Fathers keep them home, protect them. You can't vote. You understand? But anyways, kind of file it under what we were saying yesterday too, but yeah, you gotta wonder if there will be a guy to just not resign maybe one time. Just one time. I'm laughing at some of your comments. Tony Gonzalez.
Obviously, Representative Swall will resign, and then Mr. Gonzalez did. Do you think it would be fair if there would be like a swap of like Ms. McCormick resigning and then
Here's
Mr.
the
Mills?
problem. That's not okay, because that is on this whole idea that we can find and determine expulsions and guilt based on political horse trading. I want to be clear, what happened today with Tony Gonzalez was disgusting, because those allegations and that case and that reporting has been hanging out there for months. For months. You have to ask yourself, what changed today that he gets to resign today as opposed to last week, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago? And the difference was that they were waiting on some political horse trade of a number. When someone is committing abuse, they should be out. It doesn't matter whether a Democrat had resigned or a Republican resigned or some horse trading. If you are guilty of this stuff, that's it, And like, I think it's really dispiriting to a lot of these people that come forward, or families of survivors. This is a young woman who died, and
whatever, AOC. So, but here's the part I'm not getting. I guess she's commenting on the thing, and she's saying with Tony Gonzalez, that's disgusting. And it doesn't sound like she even knows the story with Tony Gonzalez, because she left it very open, right? She's like, the allegations and the woman and the right, and the things that are involved, the things that could be bad. You know what I mean? Like, okay, it sounds like you don't really know what happened with Tony Gonzalez. I'm gathering, and I'm not saying I know either, but Michael Tracy seems to say otherwise, as we just saw. But here's the part I'm not getting. What are they talking about here?
Do you think it'd be
about trading people?
Representative Swall will resign. Representative Corey Mills. There was obviously Representative Swall will resign, and then Mr. Gonzalez did. Do you think it'd be fair if there would be like a swap of like Ms. McCormick resigning?
What? Okay, he brought up that name, McCormick. That lady's resigning, right? Don't worry, I'll explain what I think I know about this. Because there's this lady, I think the name she just mentioned, Sheila Shirfless McCormick, is being asked to resign, I believe. And it's over like fraud stuff, like it's like impropriety, okay? So that's why. But I'm trying to understand why he brought her up, and what's this about, a swap? What's he saying?
Ms. McCormick resigning, and then
Here's
Mr.
the
Mills.
problem. That's not okay, because that is on this whole idea that we can find and determine expulsions and guilt based on political horse trading. I want to be clear, what happened today with Tony Gonzalez was disgusting, because those allegations and that case and that reporting has been hanging out there for months. For months. You have to ask yourself, what changed today that he gets to resign today as opposed to last week, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago? And the difference was that they were waiting on some political horse trade of a number. When someone is committing abuse, they should be out. It doesn't matter whether a Democrat had resigned.
Okay, so she's mad that she believes there's some political games going on in the background, and that this was known and could have happened before, but politics protected him until there was until the people above them moved some things around and they were happy, essentially, right? I mean, that's what she's saying.
I think it's really dispiriting to a lot of these people that come forward, or families of survivors. This is a young woman who died.
Yeah, I think OAC doesn't know what happened. Like, yeah, that woman died from suicide. And she brings up, this is very dispiriting for what? Victims that come forward. She's basically trying to say, like, this is dispiriting for victims who come forward and make allegations. Like, how are they going to do this? But it sounds like she doesn't know the deal with Tony Gonzalez, because this was a consensual relationship. And it looks like he's resigning. Okay. I was wondering if she was bringing up this controversy that has to do with them retiring as opposed to resigning. But it doesn't matter. So moving on. Yeah. Holy. Sorry about that. Okay. She's literally a politician complaining politics was involved. Yeah. So I was just trying to understand what I was watching there, okay? Holy. But where were we? Let's keep it moving here, because I had something. This is still political, so let's keep it going here. We're done with the breast milk. We're done with Tony Gonzalez. So that's great. Virginia has joined the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact. The Interstate Compact? Alrighty here, folks. I want to talk about this thing with the new governor over there in Virginia. And I know that this vote is coming up in Virginia. They're trying to redistrict. It's like a struggle going on in Virginia. They ran the black female Republican against this Abigail Spanberger. And it seems like since she's come in, it's just been, the bottom has fallen out. It's all in on changing up like the voting stuff. What was it? Gun rights, like everything's super liberal. I forget what they were, but you can like sue gun manufacturers for victims of gun violence. Will be able to sue gun manufacturers, stuff like that. And right now this lady, sorry, I keep getting this ad. Where's it coming from? Holy. This lady's now trying to get this, get Virginia as part of the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact, an agreement among U.S. states and the District of Columbia, aimed at changing how presidential electors are awarded in the Electoral College. It seeks to ensure that the candidate who wins the most popular votes nationwide across all 50 states becomes president without needing a constitutional amendment to eliminate or alter the Electoral College. You understand? So basically, the states that participate, they agree to flout the Electoral College and how the country's kind of been basically set up. Nick, did you speak on the surgery yet? Well, don't get too excited, Peacock. I mean, we're going to talk about Clav and Lux Maxing and the OD in a moment here. I don't have much to say about that surgery, but I have a comment about the obsession with self-improvement and surgeries. So as it stands, you have the Electoral College. This agreement would say, okay, Virginia, we'll give our electoral votes to the candidate who gets the highest popular vote, not necessarily the winner in that specific state. You understand? So there's a reason why. I mean, look. How's that go again? You got to get 270 votes. You've seen these maps? What is this Kingdom Hearts? What is going on? What is going on with my stuff? Sorry, hold on. Got too many things going on. We'll just mute all that for a moment here. Right? Electoral College votes. Holy. They would go around this, you understand? They would just give it to Hillary. They would have just given the votes to Hillary because she was more popular. She had won more actual votes, right? Obviously, I do Francisco, but just not all of them and not all the time with gang. Okay? Sorry, I'm a little... Oh my gosh. I gotta find this tab that's doing this. I gotta find the tab that's doing this. We are freezing up here, folks. You got to give me a sec. Okay, what is going on is I'm not leaving early. It's just this tab is... Am I freezing up for you here? Sometimes I gotta end all these processes. Hold on. Tell me the stream didn't end, please. Okay, the stream didn't end. All right, I had to close all that. It was a glitch in the Matrix. Am I back? Okay, we're back. All right, we're solid. Where were we? Jeez, where were we? Yeah, look, they're trying to, look. MPVIC, National, you heard it, National Popular Vote Interstate Compact. The states that join it will just give their electoral college votes to whoever wins the national popular vote. So if your state was going to give the votes to Trump during the 2016 election, because that's how it works, you know, even if your state has a bunch of Hillary supporters in 2016, if Trump supporters won in your state, then all of the state's electoral college votes would have went to Trump. That's what happened. It lets states have their voice. It lets even smaller states have a voice, so that states with a whole bunch of population don't just get to steamroll and say, well, this is the most popular thing. Each state gets to have a say, even if they're smaller. So if your state, everyone, it's presidential, it's election day, it's election day 2016, everybody went out to vote, and there were more Trump voters, more people voted for Trump in your state gets to have a say and gets to put all of their votes towards Trump. This would change that. Now, all of the electoral college votes, even if your state majority of the state, even if it's a super majority, everyone voted. If every single person in your state voted for Trump under this law, right? Yeah, we get it, Nick. He's explaining. I just was in the middle of it, and then my bad, and then I confused myself, right? It would mean that Hillary would have gotten all the votes, right? Because she was the more popular one by mere numbers. So, blah, 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 blah. The ladies are making it happen. They said they would after Hillary. They promised they would take away your voice. They promised they would, and they did it.
19th state and 5th largest state to join the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact, which would bring the movement a step closer to changing the way presidential elections are determined.
It would just be based off of sheer popular vote, that whoever gets the most votes, that's who would win.
The bill passed the Senate 20 lower populations.
Whatever. Like I said all that. Even if you all went Trump, they would just give the electoral votes to Hillary because the more population. So the majority gets to bully the populace get to bully incredible. But she's going nuts over there, man. And so Rick will tell us, I'm sure, how that goes over there. Rick will let us know how all of that ends up over in Virginia. We were naturalizing 1 million people every year with a 95% approval rate. I didn't know that either. The USCIS has successfully pushed naturalizations down over 60% from their peak, going from an average of 70 to 80,000 monthly down to about 30,000. USCIS. Immigration services. Citizenship and immigration services. Big decline. We're talking about citizenship approvals. So that's naturalization, right? Not illegal immigration. And it was like every month, like 100,000, just under 100,000. We're coming in, and 95% we're getting approved. I didn't know such things, okay? I didn't know so many were legally being let in. I mean, you have an idea, but maybe you just don't know. How bad is it? What are the people playing SimCity? How badly are they projecting our society? How badly do they project things to be? Yes, Punchy is on later. Punchy TV, 2 p.m. Pacific time with Bill. Jeez. But anyways. Do you guys know anybody into clavicular and looks maxing? I know one guy, actually. $2 p.m. Pacific time for Punchy. Yeah, 2 p.m. Pacific time. Yeah, that's with Bill. So look. Do you guys actually? Yeah, you, Nick. You get me? No. Look, I've said stuff before about the words like looks maxing. We did a thing on it. I haven't said much about clavicular. Really, other than like, oh, I like the guy, right? Like, I think I like him, like whatever. I've been like positive in that you know, whatever. Like I just don't go around like there's plenty of people you could criticize, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's plenty of people you could criticize. Like, I just don't have much I don't need to make him a target or whatever. Like, it's just not gonna feel like that. But even in the positives, like, I don't know if I don't know. What did I say? All I said was like, there's something about aesthetics and self-improvement. You know, but I didn't go much beyond there. Like, who cares? Like, I'm not here to say what it doesn't seem like he even he goes around trying to say how much good or not he's doing in the world. It doesn't seem to even be his concern. And for others to be concerned about that, it's like, that's pretty funny. Like, that shows how shallow you are. I mean, you thought Clav was trying to go around, run around, trying to be Jesus. You thought that was going to get him, like trying to criticize him. How about worry about yourself, right? So that's why I didn't want to get into it. And criticize. Like, isn't he such a bad example for young men? Like, he's not trying to be, I don't think. And if anything, he is showing like some realities in a sense about female nature or whatever. Now the clips we've like, again, I don't watch his stream. I've never once watched his stream. Never once. I've never once watched his stream, and the few clips we've watched together on this show, some of you guys didn't, some of you guys were like not with it, but I was saying they're fake. I'm like, they look so fake, guys. I don't know what to tell you, but it looks like staged, like staged. But obviously he's staging it because he's a showman. It's like you put together a show and have a message and you have a middle and the end, and it's like, there's the show. And look, in this episode, I take this man's wife right in front of him. And then he gets the conversation going. Yeah, I was the one to tell you guys, yeah, that video's fake. That wasn't a real person. That wasn't a real relationship. You're watching. This is a stone's throw away from cuck schmornography, and I'm not mad at Clav for doing it, but you, the audience, you should know that you getting thrilled and going like, oh, see, women are like this, and then you get more, but then you like watching it more. You get some sick pleasure from watching it. You're basically that's what they did to the audience of cuck schmornography. Like, that's what's happening to you. So try and have some space with the things you watch online. And the reason I'm bringing it up today, I guess, I mean, look, whatever. We don't have much. Look, what's even going on in the news? This guy apparently suspected overdose. The clip was going around with him being sort of unresponsive, and everybody was scared in the clip. And I barely mentioned this once before. And it's just this. It's not even that deep. It's not even like a deep criticism of clavicular. But it's just this. For the particularly young people getting into this stuff, Clav's not the first to do it. He's just really popular, and and sure, that's maybe a commentary on how unique he is and smart or whatever. But Clav's not the first he's not the first of this world. And what's the world I'm describing? I don't know if there's a name for it, but he's not the first internet self-improver to go viral, hype up a lot of young men to get into, right, to just hype them up and follow this guy, this individual who rises and then falls, who rises dramatically and falls dramatically. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen with clavicular. I'm not wishing anything, but you guys remember Z's? This is for the folks that don't know, because maybe you're younger and you don't know that there was a clavicular before clavicular. And again, I'm not saying that this was going to happen to clavicular. He just seems like a smart kid. I don't know. Whatever. But Z's he calls himself a skinny nerd until he started taking the bodybuilding drugs, and he started his online movement about how we're all going to make it. We're all going to make it. You just have to be a sick he would say a sick C-U-N-T. And he lived hard, but it doesn't matter. You got to live crazy, live hard, live the life you want to live, and F everybody else, and F what everybody thinks about you, and just be a legend. You can just be that right now. And a lot of guys took that in, like, wow, just this guy's speaking to me. You're right. I don't have to be a loser. I can't just like be a sick person. Be just awesome. And to a lot of those people, like, some of that spoke to them, but to them it meant like drugs too. So let me start getting on the roids, and they're following Z's, and then Z's dies. He dies young. He dies at the age of 22. Z's died at the age of 22. Following complications from living the way he was living. Let's be real. Nobody denies this. Nobody denies this. All that stuff is hard on you. And so what? This is not even about Clav. It's just like, for the guys who are like into this, like, this has happened before. Like, Clav is just like, I want to say, there's just another one of these guys. It really isn't personal. It's just that it's happened before. Like, And it may not even be Clav, but yeah, okay. Just wanted to say that. For those that maybe didn't know, like, similar stories have already come around and people already got hyped and got into it. And like, yes, no, this is deeper than people are saying. This is about being good and being right. And it's not just looks. But it like was. It was to some degree, at least for some. It was just about the outside, not the inner. And that path is only destruction. There's not a single thing on the outside that's going to fix the inside. Not a single thing. I mean, I'll let me know if you found it. But I still like Clav though. I still like him though. Like he's like funnier and cooler than like, you know, like then a lot of the people. I mean, it's just the little things I see. Like he seems like what's the word? Realer. Everybody has their own judgments of people, right? He seems realer, you know, than your next guy. Whatever.
Beauty industry.
Oh yeah. Everyone's got their dissertations on what's going on. Hey, I'm no better, right?
Men are just not horny enough anymore. And I'm not going where you think I'm going, so don't start. The statistics are out. No one's getting married or fucking like they used to. Gen Z men are more
Sorry, folks. I'm sorry. I forgot how vulgar she was.
on gender roles than boomers. In other words, we are an anti-sex generation. And looks maxing is the perfect microcosm for this. When mass market advertising emerged in the early 1900s, the beauty industry quickly realized that self-loathing is very profitable. Women, being the household purchasers, were targeted with several iconic campaigns. Today, the same industry repackaged is valued at over $350 billion annually. As the nuclear family structure dissolves, it is not enough to prey on female insecurity and body dysmorphia. So enter looks maxing. While the premise of the manosphere and the beauty industrial complex are the same, to increase your social desirability, its execution is anti-sex. Boob jobs decrease your sensitivity and mobility, BBLs can literally kill you, Ozempic starves you, anabolic steroids increase your risk of erectile dysfunction and
I play this because it's just like a funny thing. Like, oh, it was marketing. Okay, it was evil marketing, weaponizing your was it self-loathing? That's what they found out. That was self-loathing that was profitable. It's not that women like doing this, and that's how you attract men. / that's like where, you know, for the worldly woman, and that's like the only call it avenue of power. It was the companies who made you use your sex, not Eve, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I wonder what made Eve do it. Was it Skims? Was it Skims and you know what I mean? Like, was it Skims and 1950s ads and Dove and Real Women, Real Beauty and Fenty and unrealistic beauty standards that made Eve? You know what I mean? Like, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's human nature. And let's stop pretending like not everybody. Here's what I don't get. Everyone loves. Like everyone loves. Like, this is not just like, everyone loves looking their best. Everyone loves a strong, muscular man. Everyone does, even men. Everyone loves a youthful, beautiful woman. Everyone does, even women. Everyone loves that. You know what I mean by that? Like there's not a person who doesn't love that. Oh, this gay. No, it's not about sex. Like, everyone loves a strong, muscular man, a capable, strong. Everyone loves a young, beautiful woman or whatever. Like it's like one of those things, like everyone loves beautiful things, that kind of thing. Like everyone can agree on that. So it's not like, oh, brainwashing society. It's our nature. and the things we love, let's not pretend we don't like them, right? You like looking like that. And it's just, we're just like super into the ego. Anyways, not that deep, lady. I don't know if it was really the companies. I think we're closer to what you're talking about than you think. But I wonder what she thinks about the stay-at-home boyfriend.
The stay-at-home boyfriend is now an economic trend as more women than men go to work. And the reason they found is that fewer young men, Maggie, are entering the workforce than their fathers, their parents were. Is this a trend that you are noticing personally, and what do you think about this?
Yes, well, on the internet, we call those men neat, so they're not in education, employment, or training. I think a lot of men feel really comfortable sitting online all day long. That's a very comforting space for them. And if they're being financially supported, whether by parents or a girlfriend, God knows why that woman chose them, then of course they can continue to do that. I think that's very disturbing. I would not have a stay-at-home boyfriend personally.
Here's a headline for you. The stay-at-home boyfriend is now an economic trend as more women than men go to work.
Okay. Okay, You heard about this, right? Why are women reacting negatively to this? Asked this person. I thought that women being out of the workforce and staying home was a horrible atrocity that men inflicted on them against their will. What's wrong with men paying reparations about being oppressed in the same way? I love being a stay-at-home husband. It allows me the time I need to better carry the emotional labor my wife inflicts on me. Oh, okay, so I guess he's just playing around. You heard about this? I mean, we saw these articles recently and we talked about it. There's all these articles coming out saying, well, where are the young men in the workforce? And they were even talking about how they're not really around. That, what was it? The articles were titled something akin to the topic was who are the most affected when young men don't go to work. Grok, what was that article that went around recently having to do something with who primarily suffers when young men / men stop working? It was something like that. It's pertinent to the topic. Stay-at-home boyfriend. It's not even a stay-at-home husband. That's even worse, right? They were talking about stay-at-home boyfriends. The article you're likely thinking of is what happens when young men aren't working. Everyone suffers. Yeah. What happens when young men aren't working? Everyone suffers. Wasn't there another one though? Wasn't there one about how women suffer when men don't work? I mean, look, they were going around. Yeah, I think I saw that too. Women suffer by extension when men are broken. The hidden costs of men's social isolation. And they were wondering, like, man, and they were making these articles saying how, like, it's the women in their lives suffer from them being this way. It's something we can agree to. Something that many probably right now are listening to this saying, that's what we've been trying to tell you. When the man is under the woman, it's an abomination. It does not work. You just get more hell. You get more problems. I've seen that proven over and over again. And so, totally agree They say that's it. This is definitely a criticism to the men. Like, where are y'all at, right? Like you have this in you to be able to do anything really, to provide, to work, especially at the league. And where are you guys, right? This is a terrible stat if it's true. And if the stay-at-home, like, it's just not a good economic trend. To the ladies mad about it, it's like, isn't this what you wanted? I hear countless stories of professionals, men with degrees, unable to work anywhere near to what they've been educated for. And, you want to say, well, just pick yourself up. But there was that recent expose in, like, the media world and how men were kept out of journalism and all that. Like, specifically for DEI, for helping the women. There's got to be some study into how subsidized these women's lives are today, especially the so-called girl boss, as they call her. Helen Andrews was commenting on this piece, on this article on First Things, the myth of the independent girl boss. Helen Andrews kind of recently went viral, making comments on different shows, saying how woke as we know it, woke, you may have seen her, you might be reminded with this comment, woke as we know it, as a culture, as a DEI and all that exists in the government and otherwise, that really, she was going viral because she was making these comments how all that really is just feminine thinking and feminine social hierarchies playing out in every institution that you can think of where that's happening. That's all it is. Woke, etc. Believing women, that's literally, it's just female social hierarchy dynamics playing out. It's not about the meritocracy. It's not about what's right, but it's about how it makes you feel. It really is like, you're scoffing, but that's how it is. That's how, that's not about the material conditions, but about how people perceive things, etc. So Helen Andrews was she's got some, we've seen her on the internet because of that a lot. I'm sure she's done other things, but she was commenting on this piece on how, and she summarizes some things about it. Cheap immigrant labor to do their cooking, cleaning, and childcare, student loans, and the whole higher education sector, email jobs that don't need to exist. The subsidized woman, the young man left out. What is going on here? I'd say, yeah, the men gotta make it happen, but there's something else going on too, right? There's something else going on. And the feminists have codified their hatred of men into policy in a lot of places. We could see that. Here's one thing, though. There's one thing that destroys all of that. There's a funny little truth. There's a funny little reality where none of this matters. And the evidence is in what we were talking about earlier a little bit. In wait, where was it? What were we saying? Well, essentially the women just unhappy that the young men aren't working. The young women unhappy about hearing about men becoming stay-at-home boyfriends. Apparently women are reacting negatively to this. The evidence is there that this world that women say they want, they don't really want it. See, this whole idea that men can be held back. The funny thing is, you can't hold a man back. It's impossible, and it's because of what I was saying earlier. Everyone loves a real man. You can't help but love him, even if you hate him. If you're a girl boss feminist, owner of a company, you're still like trying to make money. When a real man comes across looking for a job, maybe let's say maybe the first feminist crazy out of off the deep end feminist CEO / HR person hiring will say no. But soon, one will say yes. They'll have to say yes because you'll be just way too, not tempting. What's the word? You'll be just too enticing. You'll be such a good pick for whatever it is to be an employee. Literally anywhere in life, a real man shows up. It's like a positive force. It's an intoxicating. You can't help but look away. You understand? Appealing is the word. Thank you, Chris. It'll be so appealing because you'll be so competent. You understand? Everyone loves that. Even the feminists, even that, all that. That world is a farce. And you believing it is a farce too. That you can be held back. That can even happen to you. That you can even be held back. So that was some of what people were saying about the stay-at-home boyfriends. Like, what's wrong with you guys? You guys got to pick it up. Others were saying, hey, but this world is subsidizing the women and taking from the men. I think both true. But I think above all that, let's be real. Come on. When you're so when you're just so appealing to, because you're just like solid, you're not thinking about the next guy. You don't know how competent and how useful you could be. And it's only your like mind holding you back. That's why you have all these weak men. It's their mind holding them back. And they could be, even if they were surrounded by feminists, they don't realize how appealing and how, effective and how what's the word? Not unavoidable, but inevitable you can be. A lot of these young men don't realize how inevitable they can be. How undeniable they can be. So yeah, I would never allow myself to believe such a thing. That like, even if there are facts that like they're subsidizing the girl boss, I'm not gonna say that I'm held back in life. I wouldn't say such a thing. So yeah, young men, it is true. What happens when young men aren't working? Everyone suffers. So don't suffer with them and go to hell. Let them be feminists. They'll come around. They'll realize it's like, oh, like, I don't know, maybe a war has to happen or something. It's like, oh, hey, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Okay, all right, fellas, take it away. You can't be held back. Everyone loves a real man. You can't. It's like you can't be held back. New Jesus pic dropped. Wait, what? And you guys got to read this one with me because I don't know if it's the Mirror, this publication, but that's so funny. This writer, they must really dislike Trump or something. But that's so funny, Doom Jesus. Nick should get on the looks maxing bandwagon and metamorphosize himself. One or two. One's in the chat if you want me to looks max and totally transform and ascend. Two's in the chat if not. Here's the thing, Doom Jesus. I've thought about doing that because that would just be hilarious in a camera thing. Like getting like pop-on veneers and just having a totally different look. Like I feel like I would go viral or something. I've had different fantasies, but like I should just stick doing what I'm doing here. Like, I'm not trying to be like a ridiculous viral person. Like maybe, for no reason. Like, and here's the thing: I'm not taking steroids. I don't care what you. I don't care what you say. I don't care what anybody says. Like, I'm staying natty. I'm cool with it. I've learned exactly. I think I really get how my body puts on fat, loses fat, exactly how much muscle I really have. And I'm in for the long haul. Yeah, you could really mess. Hey, look, That stuff, you know, you're messing with stuff in there. I'm not doing it. So I'm just not gonna do it, Dim Jesus. Because if I'm gonna look smacks, I'm going to take roids. And if I'm taking roids, you think I'm gonna be doing some dumb little Diana ball, taking pills and ruining my liver? No, I'm injecting that stuff. I'm injecting it straight into my veins. You think I'm gonna ruin my liver? No. And so because of the aforementioned reasons, I'm not doing the roids. So it's just not gonna happen. The androgenic hair loss that would come from it, I'm just not doing it, folks. Look at me. You don't even watch the show, Nugget Man. You don't even know what I'm saying. I've never watched a single one of their streams. So yeah, the androgenic hair loss, no. 32 eggs a day is like a steroid cycle. But by the and anyways, I remember getting my testosterone measured using my Canadian healthcare, using my so-called free Canadian healthcare. And straight up, my test was high. It was like in the 900, 800 decaliters per micro, whatever. It was higher. It was much higher than the average. Whatever, 600 is it? So whatever. Look, whatever. Like it's not about that, right? It's not about that. I don't have an ego. That's not why I'm saying this. Where were we? New pic dropped. Trump shares bizarre new Jesus image days after blasphemous post. He's bringing it back. He wasn't done. President Donald Trump posted a new image featuring himself and Jesus days after being slammed for posting an AI image depicting him as Jesus healing a man who looks suspiciously like Jeffrey Epstein. Like, that's the first time I heard of that. I gotta say, The Mirror, Jeremiah Hassel, whoever you are, you're the first I heard make this claim, folks. Come on, folks. Is this really Jeffrey Epstein? Really? We're still talking about that creep? We're still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? that creep? That the president said that, not knowing that, not thinking about how Jeffrey Epstein is a regular human being and deserving of love, or at least forgiveness or whatever. You know, love. So that's the only reason he said that, obviously. But really, did anyone think this was Jeffrey Epstein he was healing? Come on. That's a little, that's a stretch, don't you think, media? The Mirror, who I have to assume is another sleazy publication, much like the Daily Mail. Really? That's supposed to be Trump healing Jeffrey Epstein? Hold on. Jeffrey Epstein, come on. Hold on, we're going to get the photo. Can we get a good quality version of it? Like, come on. Like, that's not... It's Epstein. Okay, you guys are saying it's Epstein. No, it's Epstein. It's Epstein. Okay. It's not a stone's throw. Like, it's a bit of a stretch. But gray hair, right? White looking guy. Like, I'm down to say, it's Epstein. Epstein's deserving of healing too. Epstein is deserving of healing from a brother of Christ as well. I'm not against calling it. I'm with you guys, in fact. I'm with you guys. I'm not against saying it's Epstein. It's just, for me, when you do a parody, it has to be like, it has to look like, I get that you guys are saying, hey, Epstein is worthy of forgiveness. He died for all of our sins. So I'm with you guys. So like, I'm with that. that he died for all of our sins, including Jeffrey Epstein, and that's beautiful for you guys saying that. But for me personally, when you do a parody, it's gotta look like it. This looks more like an old Eric Trump than a Jeffrey Epstein. You're so right, American Native. You killed it with that one. This looks more like an old Eric Trump than Jeffrey Epstein. But you know what? I'll say it because you guys really melted my heart with that one. Jeffrey Epstein is, in fact, also deserving of Trump, brother of Christ's forgiveness and healing / Dr. Trump healing. Jeffrey Epstein is deserving of brother of Christ Jesus / Dr. Trump's healing. Okay. You're saying this is Palm Beach Pete? Oh, okay, my bad. But the Mirror, who said that? Like, that's just a funny thing, right? Like, it's been reported by who? A man who looks suspiciously like Jeffrey Epstein looks around. President Donald Trump posted a new image of himself and Jesus, this one of Jesus comforting him. Days after he was slammed for posting a blasphemous AI image of himself as Jesus appearing to heal a man who looked suspiciously like Jeffrey Epstein. The radical left lunatics might not like this one, but I think it's quite nice, President DJT. He captioned the latest post, which came after one of his closest allies made a sacrilegious confession, apparently. Mike Johnson was the one that convinced Trump to delete sacrilegious post. Oh, come on. What's sacrilegious about it? Blasphemous to who? A church? He's not saying he hates Jesus. First of all, he said he was a doctor, not Jesus. So we all saw Jesus. Okay? It was us who saw Jesus first. And some of us were disturbed. Others, a smile came on their face. Isn't that interesting? All of you guys love to proclaim Jesus. Suddenly we saw him in the image of Trump. Some of you were angry, disturbed. Others were simply smiling. Jesus, smile. Simple, right? Okay, enough of that. We're messing around. Enough of that. Sacrilegious. The guy is not saying he hates him. He's saying I think I'm doing the right thing. I think Jesus would approve of what I'm doing. That's what he's saying. He's not saying down with Jesus and I have my fingers crossed behind me and the eyes are rolling back when you're not looking and that's Jesus. I'm diminishing his name in the name of Satan. Like, are you stupid? At the most you could say I didn't like it. Like, it's I don't agree with you. You're not Jesus. You're not acting like him. That's the most you could say. You're not acting like him. I disagree with you, President. But if you're offended, you're dumb. So he's saying this. Okay, where were we? He's got the new pick. He drops the new pick. And whatever. So where was it? Let's finish up with that. With a caption, because it had some caption apparently. Whatever. Maybe it didn't. Trump shares bizarre photo. I was never a religious man, but doesn't it seem with all these satanic, demonic, child sacrificing monsters being exposed that God might be playing his trump card? LOL, it's cute, right? It's cute. Yes, C-Sal, exactly. The most you could say is you just disagree, but we're supposed to be like him. And that's what he's saying. He believes he's being like him. The religious thing is stupid. I was never... Okay, where was it? So that's the image. Okay, it's whatever. And I had like one more comment about it, which was like... Because we already talked about this Monday and all that. The Jesus pick. My thoughts on blasphemy. It's like... Blasphemous to who? Like the church? Like you're such a you're showing yourself to be a very like kind of like one of these shallow religious people. You didn't do the ritual right. You didn't look to the east at the right time correctly. Penalize him. Like, you don't hear yourself? But there's a lot of people frustrated with this whole like not admitting it was Jesus thing, and they're frustrated with Jesse, for example, saying, "How can you really think?" Because it was an image of Trump in the robe, and everybody instantly thought, "Of course he's depicting himself as Jesus." And then Trump comes out and says, "No, I thought I was a doctor in that image. I didn't know I was being Jesus. I thought I was being a doctor." And right away, people are like, right, throwing their hands up in the air. Oh, come on, right? Like, this guy's lying. He's lying. He's saying when it was meant to be Jesus, and now he's saying it's not. And he thinks we're dumb. He thinks we're stupid. And people are really mad with Jesse too. Like sincerely frustrated. Like, I can't believe he's lying to us. And I mean, the only reason I'm commenting on it is because, like, I don't know. I'm just seeing people go down a stupid path. Like, that's the thing that's getting you. Like, you're missing it. That's boomer trolling. That's boomer trolling. And what am I saying with that? Now I'm saying I believe that Trump that was Jesus in the picture. Look, it's not about that. It's that wasn't a big deal at all. Even if it was Jesus, it's not a big deal. But if it's such a big deal like this, then the facts are he never showed Jesus. That's the fact. And so you're getting trolled. You're getting trolled over something that's not a big deal. So don't turn it into, "You're lying to me, Jesse. You're lying to me." Like, he thinks I'm dumb. Like, some people are really like tripping over it. Like, you're really going down a dark path. You're really going down a really silly path, and it's dark because it's destruction. It's a lie. It's a troll. You're getting trolled. You don't know how that works.
Jardiance plays a role in my story too. I have type 2 diabetes, but I manage it well.
You think God's offended? You think Jesus calls it blasphemy?
This is an...
People are amazed at this one, though. An Amish woman at 50 years old versus a modern woman at 50 years old. Are you ready for this one?
This is an Amish woman at 50, and this is a...
You see the abs on that one? She's cut. And I have to say, it must be the Amish lifestyle. If you needed another reason to know what's wrong with the modern world and it's time to return to tradition, look no further.
This is an Amish woman at 50, and this is a modern American woman at 50.
Doom Jesus, don't ruin it. Don't ruin it, Doom Jesus. Don't ruin it. Don't let people think what they think. I want to see what they think. Doom Jesus, let people think what they think.
And this is a modern American woman at 50. Same age, completely different belly. This is not genetics, folks. This is not luck. And nobody in the modern world has told you the real reason why. The American food system has filled everything with processed ingredients, seed oils, and artificial additives that never existed before your grandparents were born. Your body was never made to break any of this down. Layer after layer, year after year, it builds up inside you. You eat less than everyone around you, and your belly is still the biggest in the room. Comment yes if this is you, so I know how many of you are dealing with this. But
that's so funny. are you guys? So far, 2 people have said this is AI. I mean, doesn't this look strange to you, folks? This looks very weird, no? The way they move, their features. Sure, they have hands. AI can't make hands. That's not AI. This is weird. This doesn't look normal. And the Amish don't really go around selfieing themselves like this. And not only that, the Amish don't really, unless maybe there's an Amish person out there vlogging, I don't know. But the Amish don't really use technology like this. And they don't say, comment yes if this is you at the end of their videos, okay? Like, this is AI.
An Amish woman at 50, and this is a modern American woman at 50.
This is 100% Amish psyops knit.
Same age, completely different belly. This is not genetics, folks. This is not luck. And nobody in the modern world has told you the...
Look at those she does not have those abs. She does not have those abs. Where does she get abs like that? And where do they go after? Like, she just stops flexing?
Same age, completely different belly. This is not genetics, folks. This is not luck. And nobody in the modern world has told you the real reason why. The American...
I'm trying to help you here. Some of this stuff's not real.
...system has filled everything with processed ingredients.
Now, what about the content, though? What about the content, though? Is that true?
Seed oils and artificial additives that never existed before your grandparents were born. Your body was never made to break any of this down. Layer after layer, year after year, it builds up inside you. You eat less than everyone around you, and your belly is still the biggest in the room?
Sounds like irresponsible fat loss advice from the AI. Just letting you know, I don't know, seed oils, artificial additives, yeah, maybe those are bad. I don't know. Maybe those are bad. But that's not why you're fat. You don't have layers of seed oils in you that don't break down because of some process that does not happen in you because, I don't know, because it's a seed oil. Your belly is not bigger than everyone around you, even though you don't eat because of seed oils. No. You don't realize that you eat a lot. You don't realize that you eat more than you burn. But what's distasteful about the picture? He's saying he's healing. He's doing good things. And then in the second one, Jesus is like, you're my, like, I'm comfort. The great comforter is comforting his brother, Trump. What's distasteful? What's bad?
Hey, wait. I need you to show me how to convert a Word doc to a PDF again.
You know, it'd be faster if I used Scribe to show you how to do it.
But why is it bad, Flat Earth?
Whoa, how'd you make this?
Why is it bad, Flat Earth? Pointing like it's her prize hog.
Year after year, it builds up inside you.
Okay, folks, it's like...
You eat less than everyone around you, and your belly
Don't listen
is still
to the AI
biggest in the
slop.
room. Comment yes if this is you, so I know how many
It's
of you are
because you're
dealing
eating.
with this.
It's
But
because you eat too much.
here is what most people never figure out. The problem was never the fat. It was never the calories. The problem is where all of it landed, your gut. When the gut slows down and stops clearing, waste builds up, inflammation rises, and the body keeps holding on to fat no matter what you eat. You can diet for the rest of your life. It will not move until the gut starts clearing again.
Okay, but why did they get the Amish lady to lie, though? It's like, it's one thing to get the Amish AI video and make a fake video to show, like, the Amish body versus a modern body, so to speak. But why do you got to get the Amish AI lady to lie?
Holding on to fat no matter what you eat. You can diet for the rest of your life. It will not move until the gut starts clearing again. We Amish
What? You mean like your stomach? Like your intestines? Are you saying the food is stuck in your intestines and your stomach? That's absolute nonsense. What do you mean the gut clears?
Fiber for generations.
That's not where you. That's not why you're fat. You don't have a. It's not like you ate and it didn't go anywhere. Oh, we just gotta clear it out. All that food. Look at all that food in that belly. Just clear it out. Poop it out. Like, what are you saying?
to bring the gut back into balance. Soluble fibers specifically. Think of it like a broom. When it hits your gut, it dissolves, forms a thick gel, and moves through your intestines, pulling that built-up waste along with it. While feeding the good bacteria, your gut needs to start healing. Without that broom, nothing upstream changes. But getting enough...
Guys, they made like a whole article on this, and this was linked by Revolver. Mind blown. Amish women at 50 versus average American woman at 50. This was like a top article on Revolver, linked on Revolver. And this is like a... I've seen this publication before, Cypher News. They don't... When it's a joke, they say it's a joke. Yeah, they made a whole article about this. Yeah, I think you saw AI. How are we gonna help these people?
Fiber from food alone these days is near impossible, so many folks reach for a powder. I have tried many over the years, but the only
Like everything about this looks wrong.
one I trust
Like the background, the angles, like
enough to give the folks who come through my door is Physician's Choice, because it works without bloating, clumping, or tasting awful. It is just soluble corn and guar fiber, two clean ingredients that dissolve
the Amish know stuff. Okay, I'm not saying they don't. I'm just saying that this particular video seems AI generated. And the things they're saying, the things that this Amish woman is saying, this allegedly AI Amish woman is saying, sound more like internet diet retardation than actual nutritional science and common sense. It sounds like a lot of internet diet conspiracy BS, if I must say.
it to work. The only problem is this stuff sells out all the time. You can find it direct in the gut and give your belly a real chance to go down.
Your gut is not, her gut does not look, this AI gut is not real, but if it were real, it's not like that because she's full of food that has not passed through and the gut needs to open up. Does anybody think that? Please let me know. Does anybody think that? We'll fix that today and make sure that everybody's caught up. One in the chat if you believe that. We'll help you and bring you into reality. We'll do it slowly. Because the Republicans love the AI. And they seem to be the liberals on it. In that the Democrats, at least according to this article and stuff, they're all conservative with the AI. GOP campaigns go all in on AI. Republicans are betting big on AI to defend their imperiled congressional majorities, MSN says. GOP strategists are using AI to quickly simulate AI's voters' attitudes towards like the Iran war, scanning millions of social media sites for up-to-the-second trends in public opinion. Democrat operatives, on the other hand, wary of privacy risks, worried what AI could mean for their jobs, slower to adopt the technology in their campaigns. And I get this impression with Republicans in general that they're like older. They're older. And they got money. Which this is an emergency. I mean, they thought this was real. We just got finished watching the AI Amish ladies. A DNC official said Gemini... It's the Democrats are the conservatives on this. Anyways. All right, enough of that. DNC official said Gemini is allowed under new policy. There are many Democrats who are using AI, but there's a lot of skepticism. Aru, a company that tries to predict human behavior, is among the tools Republicans are using. The Republicans are the, what's it called? Are the Minority Reporters. I'd never seen that movie. Isn't it Tom Cruise, Minority Report? They have AI basically figure out who's going to commit a crime tomorrow. Oh yeah, it is Tom Cruise. Is this the Minority Report?
Yeah, I think it's really interesting.
These are the creators of that Aru.
I and John are probably some of the only tech founders who read the paper news every morning. We've been obsessed with politics for years now. It was a really interesting time to start the business in early 2024 because we had seen these models get more and more progressively powerful, but being used for minute applications, summarization, right, email writing, other sorts of things, and we saw them become more and more humanistic. We saw a really interesting opportunity to start making them actually humanistic.
This guy's 20 years old. This guy's 20 years old.
And politics being in 2024, primary season, became an incredibly interesting time to prove that out. So
like
we were able to
prediction markets.
Prediction markets are interesting, but at the end of the day, they're entertainment. They fail for the same reason that traditional human research fails, right?
Which is?
The average human doesn't use them.
This dude is def a looks maxer.
Right? They have incredible sampling bias behind the people who use them, so they're predictive in nature for the top 200 issues that matter to America, but for business leaders and other folks across the world, those don't always fall within those categories. We've found that the most interesting and the most alpha to be extracted from most problems come from areas where you would never be able to access the humans who underlie.
So his AI wants to predict human behavior.
It's completely to the antithesis of what the market believes right now. We think that people are going to be drinking less alcohol per occasion, and the type of alcohol people are drinking is changing, right? So you're seeing people shift away from higher calorie alcoholic drinks like beers and seltzers, but they're starting to go towards spirits, and that's something that simulation has uncovered as a continued trend. But the biggest insight that we pulled out is actually the net number of occasions is going to start to go up. And
So that's what their company is just that, predicting human behavior. One such question they're handling is alcohol consumption.
the reason behind that at the end of the day is that people are actually becoming more confident on GLP-1 drugs. They're becoming more social, more outgoing, and as a result, they're spending more time at bars. They're spending more time out at restaurants.
Ah, they're looks maxing. They're on the peptides. They're looks maxing. Now there's no barrier. Now there's no barrier. And now they're out there drinking again. What a mess. It's not that they didn't want to drink anymore. It's that they were not doing anything. They weren't socializing. What a mess. But now they looks maxed enough, and now they can go out and drink.
Thus far,
It's not that fun.
The data seems to suggest, at least what I've read, maybe I'm completely ignorant and wrong, that there is less drinking going on between beer, spirits, and everything in the country today than there was 12 months ago, and around the world, I believe. And I think a lot of people believe that that is a function of GLP-1s. So I hear what you're saying, but I'm trying to square the circle of what's actually happening here.
Yeah, I mean, what we see, and this is something that we're really good at predicting, right? Simulation and our technology is incredibly accurate at, is the long tail of predictions, right? So not just what's happening in the next 2, 3, 4 days or next 4 months, but rather what is going to be the long-term impact of GLP-1s over the next 2, 3, 4 years. And what we're seeing actually is you look at people who are on GLP-1s for a long time, at the very beginning, alcohol usage does crater. And as GLP-1s are continuing to be adopted, you're seeing that cratering occur at a massive rate. But as people stay on GLP-1s for longer and longer, we have been able to uncover, and this has started to be evidenced in market data now. I mean, this prediction was almost 6 months ago for us. We've started to uncover that people first level out in their alcohol consumption, and then second are getting...
Okay, guys, you're predicting human behavior. They're all in on AI. I know Trump brought in a bunch of AI people, right? Trying to position America to capitalize on this new emerging industry and world, no? Who's this child? Yeah, they were the owners of this company that predicts human behavior, a tool that Republicans are using. And I think they're looks maxers. I think they're young looks maxers, young CEO looks maxers.
I mean, there are ways you see this. The first thing
So you're saying overall there's going to be...
correlation as causation. You do that a lot of things. How do you know it's not...
couple of Looksmaxers got together, opened up a business. One thing I don't really hear people talk about is what is the actual defense against AI generated deepfakes? It's getting to the point where you're not going to be able to tell. You can run videos through Grok, and lately Grok, all it tells you now is it'll just tell you, like, it's really hard to determine, you know, and lately it's just really hard to determine if a video is fake or not. Because the latest generated footage takes into account light distribution, physics, and stuff going around, stuff happening. So it looks right. It looks indistinguishable. So you can run things through an AI detector and it'll say AI videos that are known AI videos aren't. So I don't really hear that talked about. I don't know if there's really a defense. Where's the real, like, arms race defense on this? How are we hedging against truly fake videos, political videos, and all that, right? Anyways.
It's time to make every employee a success story. Are you struggling?
उधर आपको प्रूफ करना पड़ता है कि आप एक एलजीबीटी पर्सन हो।
पर मैं तो ऐसे नहीं हूँ।
वही तो मैं बोल रहा हूँ नहीं हो।
We're investigating immigration.
You guys see this one? They said it wasn't happening. They said it was a conspiracy. They said in no way is this happening. Legal advisors help migrants pose as gay to get asylum. Undercover BBC investigation finds. And they got video. They got video of them coaching them. No, you are an LGBTQ person. But I'm not. No, you are. If you want to be an American. If you want to be an American, you better say you're gay.
उधर आपको प्रूफ करना पड़ता है कि आप एक एलजीबीटी पर्सन हो।
पर मैं तो ऐसे नहीं हूँ।
वही तो मैं बोल रहा हूँ नहीं हो।
We're investigating immigration advisors that are encouraging migrants to cheat the asylum system.
To penetrate this shadow industry,
Whoa.
we've had to go
Hey,
undercover. Our reporter is posing as a former student who wants to stay in the UK. They're not being persecuted. They've got no genuine basis to claim asylum.
But we've heard some consultants are prepared to help migrants like him pretend to be gay to stay in the UK.
Hello?
After putting out some feelers, our undercover reporter's phone rings out of the blue.
Someone's got in touch from a number that we have not got saved.
And then I don't know who this person is, but her name's Tanisha.
And she knows that you're interested.
Yeah, in gay. I said, but I'm not a gay. She goes, doesn't matter, no one's gay.
Later that evening, our undercover reporter puts a face to the voice on the phone.
Wait, sorry, did I miss something there? Hold on.
Tanisha.
And she knows that you're interested.
Yeah, in gay.
Prepared to help migrants like him pretend to be gay to stay.
Pretend to be gay to stay.
Hello?
Hey, I'm only gay.
After putting
That's
out
like
some
your bumper
feelers,
sticker on your
our
car.
undercover reporters-
I'm just gay to stay. It's like the new gay for pay. Hey, I'm just gay to stay.
Phone rings out of the blue.
Someone's got in touch from a number that we have not got saved.
And then I don't know who this person is, but her name's Tanisha.
And she knows that you're interested.
Yeah, in gay. I said, but I'm not a gay. She goes, doesn't matter, no one's gay.
Later that evening, our undercover reporter puts a face to the voice on the phone. This is Tanisha Khan. She's invited him to her home in East London for what will turn out to be the first of several meetings.
तो अभी फिलहाल तो एक ही है ये रास्ता।
जी।
ह्यूमन राइट्स के ऊपर जो गे केस बोलते हैं या सेम सेक्स जो भी है उधर आपको प्रूव करना पड़ता है कि आप एक एलजीबीटी पर्सन हो.
Oh, she's speaking. Here, I'll just
She's
translate for you.
invited him to her
Well, not
home in
translate.
East
I'm just
London
going to read
for
what it
will
says.
turn out to be the first of several meetings.
At the moment, there's only one route from where you can get a visa, and it's on human rights. It is called gay case or same sex.
सेम सेक्स जो भी है
Jobiha, same sex jobi. You have to prove that you are an LGBTQ person. But I'm not, the man responds. And how? Prove it how? Let's talk about how. Let's talk about the how in this proving, okay? And then we can make a decision. That's it. She says, you are not. There is no hope for any other visa.
For a fee, Tanisha offers to provide evidence to support the fake claim.
अगर आपको लगता है कि आप मेरे पास आए हो
The approach we would take is this. I will fully prepare you for the interview by compiling a comprehensive package for you,
फुल पैकेज में आपके साथ आपको क्लबिंग की
including photographs of you at clubs, various other pieces of supporting evidence. Now I want to know what kind of standard the U.S. has in the. I have to imagine it's the USCIS or something has. In how bad do you want to be in America, bro? It's like. What standards? What? Because it seems like it's codified. It's like standardized. And how they determine if someone is truly homosexual or LGBTQ, which is like what? So that means you have bureaucracy on this, America. That means you have bureaucracy on someone if someone is LGBTQ or not as a prospective visa holder. Particular human rights visa holder by compiling a comprehensive package for you, including photographs of you at clubs. Just photographs, right, ma'am? We only have to take pictures, right? Like it's just how deep do we have to get? Various other pieces of supporting evidence so that you are completely ready when I send you in.
Ana Gonzalez is an immigration lawyer with more than 2 decades experience working on human rights cases.
This is the very last thing an advisor should be doing. So this person is breaking the law, is committing fraud by manufacturing a claim to give to this person, an oven-ready claim, so to speak.
Tanisha Khan denies all wrongdoing and said there'd been communication difficulties because she's not a fluent Urdu speaker. The Home Office said anyone found trying to exploit the system will face the full force of the law.
Amazing. Gay to stay. Bro, hey. I'm just gay to stay. I'm trying to be an American. Leave me alone. That's so funny. But that's a mess, huh? That's actually really insane the more you think about it. That this video exists. That such a video even exists. Like, think about that. Like there's a underground world industry. It goes all over, by the way. They're turning the migrants gay. And of course, too, on top of that, it's like, besides the like underground industry defrauding these visas slash like humanitarian rights, call it charity, a charity that is in some way, shape, or form extended by the American taxpayer. And then on top of that too, it's like what constitutes a human right violation to America, to the American government, and what can be a prospective visa holder and all that. Well, you know, LGBTQ people. Amazing. But yeah, the process being systematically exploited by legal advisors extracting fees from migrants, getting them to say they're LGBTQ. Like, I want to know how this. What I want to know is this package that this lady is offering to these people, which I have to assume they pay for. You know, that's where they get their money. this package they received, this package that's this comprehensive package that includes photos and all that. Like, what do they like? Do they dress them? Do they pose them? Do they have them pose? Do they have... And what would be like? Yep. Which U.S. official is opening this Manila folder up? Can't block me. I'm gay now. What U.S. official is opening up this Manila folder and taking out these photos and saying, "Oh yeah, this guy needs protection. Look at him. Just look at him. Yeah, this guy's definitely LGBTQ and clearly needs humanitarian assistance from America and the American taxpayer." You know what I mean? Like, this U.S. official, that's what's got to happen, right? They're taking it out going like, "Oh yeah, this guy, that guy. Oh yeah, that's pretty gay. And he needs our help." Or what? I don't know. What a mess. What a mess. But the BBC had figured this one out. They got the expose in a bombshell video.
Whether you're home repairs and projects, Harbor Freight has the saws, drills, and grinders you need to get the job done right at prices that can't be beat. Harbor Freight.
We're investigating immigration.
Oh, they have a longer
advisors
cut
who are
on this?
encouraging migrants to cheat the asylum system.
To penetrate this shadow industry,
सेम सेक्स जो भी है उधर आपको प्रूफ करना पड़ता है कि आप एक
is
Oh yeah, we wanted to hear from Anna.
आपके साथ उसका फिजिकल सेक्स हुआ हुआ है.
is that what an advisor should be?
Oh wait, what?
उधर बैठे लोगों के साथ भी लोग
Wait, hold on. We got details. We got some details.
बोले उधर भी
Club, okay. We didn't get all this in the early clip. So that you are, this is the package I was just asking about. Because personally, if I'm purchasing something, I need to know what I'm getting, okay? So that you are completely ready when I send you in. Additionally, if you go to the club and there are gay people sitting there, then you should take photographs. Okay. Specifically, take pictures with 2 or 4 other people. Okay. By doing so, these images will progressively accumulate. Okay. And serve as evidence supporting your case. Okay. I will give you a letter from someone, along with which we will take a few photographs. And that person will write that they have engaged in physical sex with you. Only right?
Is that what an advisor should
Like, I really want to go to America.
be doing in a case
No.
like this?
absolutely not.
Anna
Bro.
Is that what an advisor should be doing in a case
No,
like this?
absolutely not.
Anna
Absolutely
Gonzalez
not.
is an immigration lawyer with more than 2 decades experience working on human rights cases.
This is the very last thing an advisor should be doing. So this person is breaking the law, is committing fraud by manufacturing a claim to give to this person, an oven-ready claim, so to speak.
We show Anna how Tanisha even has an answer for...
Anna doesn't even know. Immigration solicitor. Who the heck are you?
Person is breaking the law, is committing fraud by manufacturing a claim to give to this person, an oven-ready claim, so to speak.
Here's what Ana Gonzalez doesn't understand. Or maybe she does, but maybe she's even heard it, but refuses to frame it like this. You know, the idea is, well, fraud is a crime. You understand? You can fraudulently make this claim of all this. And if this woman is coaching them to do that, then she's complicit in this crime. We can all understand that. The problem is way more immigration and asylum claims in America are fraudulent than people like Ana Gonzalez are willing to like admit and talk about. But if we were a little bit more honest, the vast majority of asylum seekers are fraudulently saying that. on its face, number one, on its face, are they even really refugees, really persecuted in their countries? I think that's hard. I think that's hard to prove. But even other ways, they had other places to go to first. They could have been a refugee in other places, and to be a true refugee over here, that you have to have tried it elsewhere. You know what I mean? So, anyways.
Law is committing fraud by manufacturing a claim to give to this person, an oven-ready claim, so to speak.
We show Anna how Tanisha even has an answer for someone that's pretending to be gay but wants their wife to move here too.
Wait, what?
Gay but wants their wife to move here too.
So if you want to bring your wife over, but you got to be gay to stay, what do you do then? Once she is here, it is easy to fabricate a lesbian case. Okay. Just bring her over, whether as a student, a tourist, or however else you please. Just bring her once. Once she's here, we can make her a lesbian.
Well,
What
you
the
think
heck?
you've seen it all, and then you see something like this. People like that is just really making things harder for the legitimate asylum seekers and refugees out there.
Tanisha calls our reporter to another meeting, this time at the offices of Law and Justice solicitors. There, she tells him that she's involved with a community group that he needs to join.
हमारा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का मेंबर बना लेती हूँ
क्या ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है
Worcester LGBT Asylum Seekers Group मीटिंग का वो
We'll make you a part of the Worcester LGBT group. We're required to provide evidence to the Home Office demonstrating that if you are gay, you are indeed affiliated with a gay organization. You can claim that you have actually been associated with us all along.
50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100.
Our reporter makes a down payment of £150 to become a client.
Yo!
Later, he's invited to attend his first meeting. It's held at a busy community centre in
These
East
are all
London.
gay men, I have to imagine.
Here, Tanisha isn't just one of the group's advisors, but a star attraction. A photo with her and others from Worcester LGBT, together with proof of
She's a
regular
celebrity.
attendance, can be used as evidence to support a fake asylum claim.
Oh, I see.
Our reporter is in there. The meeting is going
You gotta
on.
get the You gotta get the selfie with the LGBT rights lady, and that'll help your case. That'll help your
right
immigration
now.
case.
And every time we've driven past, there's more and more people going in. It's clearly absolutely packed in there. And we know from Tanisha that a lot of them, like our reporter, are just pretending to be gay.
I swear, I'm just pretending, bro. So, bro, would you like to go get some coffee later? But bro, we're only pretending. We're only pretending to be gay to stay. So, bro, we could hold hands a little bit. Just to pretend to gay to stay, right?
कम से कम 200 प्लस बंदे
200 प्लस लोग हैं इधर
200 तक तो है ही अगर ज्यादा ना
तो ये सारे गे हैं कि
हाँ सारे ही
मैं तो नहीं
भाई कोई भी नहीं
What is he saying?
सारे गे हैं कि
Are they all gay? There are 200 plus people here.
200 प्लस लोग हैं इधर
200 तक तो
Definitely
है ही
200
अगर
plus
ज्यादा
people.
ना।
तो ये सारे गे
Are
हैं
they
कि?
all gay? He asks. Man is laughing.
सारे ही है।
Yes, everyone is gay. He says. Off camera, nobody is gay here. Somebody off camera says nobody's gay here.
मैं तो नहीं
I am not gay. The guy says.
भाई कोई भी
Not even 1% are gay.
इसमें 1% भी नहीं
It's all fraud.
0.01% भी नहीं
One
0.0
after another, those attending tell our undercover reporter
It's all fraud.
that many people at the meeting are not really gay.
Most people here aren't gay.
इंटरव्यू देना ना आपने शर्म भूल जानी बस इतनी सी बात है असल में गे तो नहीं हूँ
Are you actually gay? He laughs. We shouldn't talk like this here. I'm thinking that others might think that I'm gay, he says. Nobody's gay. Ah, got him. Got him. He's like, hey, chill. Don't blow up my spot. Hey, bro, don't talk like that here. The moment he says, yeah, but like people are thinking we're actually gay. No, I'm not gay, bro. I'm not gay though. Dude, are you even committed to the bit? Are you even committed? You're about to stay in America. I wouldn't even dare. I'd say, no, I love men. I don't know who you are, man. You're a fake gay. Get out of my face. Maybe he has a camera. Like, what kind of What kind of fake gay are you? You're the worst fake gay ever. You're literally the worst fake gay ever. The littlest, tiniest bit of pressure. And you're like, I'm not gay. He's like, don't talk like that here. Yeah, but people are starting to think I'm gay. Yeah, nobody's gay here. Worst fake gays ever. Are you actually gay? We shouldn't talk like this here. I'm thinking that others might think that I'm gay. Nobody is gay here.
They've come here from South Wales.
I can't believe this video exists.
Coventry, Birmingham.
For tonight?
Yeah, for tonight. And they're going back tonight after the event.
Just to go to that meeting?
Just for the event.
So this isn't just people in London, this is people from all over the country?
Yep.
And they're all coming to this meeting in Beckton to get proof that they're there?
Yep.
To then give it to Home Office and say, I'm genuine?
Asylum expert Ana Gonzalez says the nature of sexuality-based claims can make them easier to fake and harder to police.
Every time this sort of information hits the media, it just hardens the British public a bit more. And particularly with something that is as intangible as being LGBTI, really. Because when you are a victim of
intangible, she
torture,
says.
when certain things have happened to you,
Are you gay or not?
Often there is way of evidencing that in an objective way. When it comes to the queer community, it is not. It's just how convincing you can be on that particular day, irrespective of you telling the truth or not.
Bro.
Tanisha Khan denies all wrongdoing and said there'd been communication difficulties because she's not a fluent Urdu speaker. Worcester LGBT told us they were investigating her. It said it does not create, encourage or support evidence in asylum claims. Law and Justice solicitors said it had no professional connection with Tanisha and our reporter was never set up as a client of the firm. It said it was investigating potentially unauthorised access to its office. The Home Office said anyone found trying to exploit the system will face the full force of the law.
That is fascinating. I can't believe it's just amazing this video even exists. And that's hilarity, my man. Holy. That is so funny. All right, let's get to, I want to get to Jermaine out of Canada here in the last few minutes of the show. Hold on, Jermaine, about to get to you. Just checking the coffees here real quick. Just buymeacoffee.com/anchor, baby. Appreciate the support, y'all. You know what? This is an interesting coffee from someone. And I can't quite read it all. I mean, there's some profanity. But essentially, it's pretty interesting. I mean, they're wondering why I can't see that others are offended by the Trump pick. But listen to yourself, someone. Your opinion is based on how. Listen to yourself. Your opinion is based on others. Jermaine, Canada, I appreciate your call. You're on the.
You see that new thing with Jada? I think it's going around. Where,
okay, was it the thing that played on JLP earlier?
You know, I didn't catch all of JLP.
Because we played a clip of Jada Pinkett Smith saying something about her new book, about how she, like, I forget exactly all she said, but it was about Will, and it was about how she had to say that she looked like the bad wife for him or something like that, right? Was it that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw that on the Jesse Lee Peterson show earlier.
Oh, so she's promoting a book. I didn't even realize,
Right.
but I was
It's her book titled Worthy, I believe.
Yeah, and I was like, she's just looking for attention, so it makes sense now that she has a book that she's, advertising.
So if I remember, if I could summarize quickly, it played on JLP, and I gotta say I can't remember exactly how she put it, but she was on some podcast maybe or whatever talking about a particular twist in her new book Worthy, which is supposed to, I think it's some autobiography or something like that, autobiographical in some way. And they talk about some twist or a particular moment in the book that was interesting, and it had to do with the time when Jada Pinkett Smith had to come public and go on her show, the Red Talk Table Talk, about her affair, some call it an affair. It was quasi an affair because Will and her were supposedly separated but not divorced. They were already having maybe some issues, but they weren't necessarily divorced. But she went off and had some like extramarital stuff with some young guy, and it all started coming out. So she went on her own show, the Red Table Talk podcast or whatever it was called, to talk about it. But Will Smith at the time, and this is according to her, had decided to go on the show with her. So according to her, it sounded like Will Smith was never meant to come on, but he decided to on his own accord. According to her, it was because, quote, she wanted to support her. So I guess, I can kind of believe Will Smith doing something like that. Like, I don't know. He seems to be his wife seems to be his god, right? If someone offends her, he goes up and slaps them. Like it seems strange. And so whatever, apparently the story goes that he decides to go on the podcast to support his wife in this, what's going to be obviously a viral, messy thing because she's talking about some affair and all that. But he's going to do it to support her. But everybody remembers Will's face when he was doing that. Everybody remembers how it's a meme now. It's all over the internet. Will's face while he was doing that, he did not look, it looked like it was hurting. Now, according to Jada, she says that, yeah, that's because he comes on after saying, I'm going to do it, support you. It looks like he started getting some second thoughts doing it. We all saw his face. Sounds like maybe that's true. But this is where the comment comes in. Jada apparently says, well, I did that, and I decided to come off or seem like the adulterous wife to support Will. Which, if you ask me, is just a nice way of that's nicer to say than, yeah, I'm a cheating woman who could never be pleased. Like, yeah, that's far easier to say what she said than the truth. Sorry, long-winded, but that's to remind people what may have happened if they weren't familiar with what we're talking about.
Yeah, to me it was weird because she said she had to come off as the bad person, as the adulterous wife. What is she talking about though? She did all of those things, so why is she saying she has to come off this way? It doesn't even make sense. So, but now that you mentioned that, it was for she have this new book coming out, it makes sense because now it's going viral. People are talking about it, so it's just for her to be relevant. That's what I'm thinking. She's crazy.
Well, yeah. I mean, honestly, that's all I got from it. It just seemed like a hey, how do I put this? Like, look, everybody can understand. When so. How do I put this? Like, it's just better. That's just a easier way of talking about your mistakes. If I can make myself like the hero in the story, well, now it's not so bad or not so like it's human nature, in my opinion. It's harder to just admit your mistakes and say what you did simply, which is like the extramarital affair, the pain that it caused Will, the whatever. It's far better. It feels way better to say, well, actually, I was the hero in the story. I decided to become a lightning rod and take on the pain so that our family could survive and Will could have his dreams. Those are the kinds of things she was saying. So, yeah, I think that's just her, in my opinion, right? It's just right. You get it. Simpler to say that.
Yeah, it was all about self-preservation and even though I'm the bad guy, no, she wants to be seen as a good guy at the same time. It's kind of messed up, but whatever. I didn't even think much about it either. I was like, whatever. I was like, Jada wants to be relevant again, and that's about it.
Yeah.
And then
if you just move on and admit it, like, you'll have a better life. I think you'll go on endlessly trying to create some unique story where you come out as the hero, and really you're only hurting yourself.
Yeah, and we saw it on Will's face. He's like, I want to support my wife. I mean, it might be true. I don't know how true that is, but we saw his face, man.
We saw his face.
I was in pain. I was in pain, man.
Major pain.
And then I think he made a recent video saying, listen, you can't please anyone. And I didn't fully watch the video, but Will came
I saw
out
that.
and said that. And I'm like, good for him. Seems like, he's learning and because there's a clip of him saying, like, when he was younger, he had this girl and she left him and he had this goal to be the best movie star and the best person, that no woman will ever leave him again. So for him to reach this point in his life and saying, you know, you can't please a person, good for him. Good for him. I don't know if he truly understands that, but from what he's saying, good for him, man.
Totally, man. Because if it's true what she said, then it really goes to show, which is, you know, I've been thinking, sort of saying stuff like this for a while. Like, it really is true. It's kind of an old cliche, right? Takes two to tango type thing. If it's true that he's like, all right, honey, I'm gonna back you up. I'll support you. I'm your husband. Yeah, talk about how you cheated or whatever. and then like it went the way it went. It's almost like deserved, right? Like that seems to coincide with what we're hoping, I guess. I don't know if we're hoping, but what we're hoping is the old Will. It seems to coincide with his personality, way too into his wife, slapping people if they offend him and her wife, right? And whatever. Like he has some idea of how a husband's supposed to be or whatever. And so it would make sense that he went on to the show like that and it went badly. But anyways.
Shout out to them, man. But
For
there's
sure.
this new clip, Nick. I don't know if you saw it, of this Asian chick on Twitter. I don't know if you know the guy. I don't want to say his name if you don't want me to, but I don't know who the guy is. But allegedly, you know, they were going to Las Vegas, and she hit up the guy, and the guy's like, "Oh, I have a room, you know, I have a hotel room already, 2 beds, you know, you can come with me. It's already paid for." She's like, "No, you know, I want to split it with you." He's like, "No, it's already paid for," and she went with him, and you know, and they planned. They're like, "Listen, we're gonna watch a movie, a scary movie together." And all of these things. And then she came out on Twitter saying, you know, he wanted to have sex that night, but, you know, I gave him the mouthpiece, and then the morning I couldn't sleep the night, so I was up all night. And then after the morning now, she wanted to talk to him about it, and they hug and whatever, and then he pushed her on the bed, and they end up having the S word, no protection. And then after they have the sex, she's like, "Oh, how long have you been in? When was your last relationship?" So now she's gathering information, because to me, she wanted a relationship, but the guy is married apparently. I'm like, this is a messy situation.
I don't know anything about this. No, I've never heard. I have not heard about this situation.
Yeah. So apparently she's on Twitter now talking about it, and you know, she's coming off a way where it's like she never wanted it, but that's not how the story's being told, right? She wanted to come off as a victim of rape. So I'm like, this bitch is crazy. So it would be a good story for you. Might look into and cover it. I don't know. Just a suggestion.
Send it to me, radio@jesseleepeterson.com. Send it to me, man.
Okay, I'll do that. Sounds
Jermaine,
good,
man, appreciate it, sir. Can you call me again?
Always. Have a good one, man.
Take it easy, sir. And all my callers, I see you. Someone coming in now. Rick, I can't get to you. We're done. Did 3 hours go by like that so fast? Don't miss Punchy TV later with Bill. That's at 2 p.m. Pacific time. But for now, I must go. Thanks for being with me and hanging out here on this fine Wednesday and an extended Anchor Baby stream. Should be normal show tomorrow, and then of course Friday we do what we do. So take it easy, take care for now. I'll see y'all tomorrow. That's after Bible Thumper Thursday, the Hake Report, and then more American Anchor Baby. Take care, folks. See you tomorrow. See you on Punchy, and then see you tomorrow. Bye.